Hello.
Hello. Hold on.
Uh,
Hello. Did you say that you had a group dungeon challenge?
yeah, I've got to do 3 group dungeons.
Okay.
I have to do it twice.
Okay, wait, so you mean you've already done one?
No, I have 2 of them, but of course they will be run simultaneously. Hopefully.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Actually, if you want to do that, I should probably swap to maybe a DPS character to do more damage, so that it goes faster. I don't really think y'all are gonna need me to heal Fungal Grotto. Unless you want to do something different, in which case, let me know.
No. Just want it over with.
Okay. Just want it over with. Ain't that just how you play video games? Fun.
Yeah.
Just want it.
Just want it over with. When people play our game, we want them to just have it be over with.
That's right.
Okay.
We want people to look at our games and go, man, I wish I was done with that.
Okay.
I look forward to playing it every night just so I can get it over with.
Let me port there.
Wow, here's a 3466.
Wow.
Former Emperor. What does... He has a ring of 5 stars after him.
Some kind of Cyrodiil rank. That's what the colors at the end of people's names mean.
Right.
It's their Cyrodiil rank. Back when it was, more important. But...
I don't know what mine is, but
Me neither. I don't even know what mine is. I guess it really
there's
depends.
somebody that just has a red diamond. There's a blue hollow diamond.
No, can't invite the group.
Somebody has invited me to group.
Mm,
Is that you?
I think so. Yes, it was.
Oh, man. How about I invite you to group because Mom and I are still in our groups. Yep, it was you. Okay. Mom is running around.
Am I supposed to do something?
Yeah, feel free to come to me.
Go to Kyle. We're gonna do fungal.
Ugh.
11 times.
My poor legs.
Your legs.
My legs.
What's wrong with your legs?
Ache.
Huh.
Right.
Take a Tylenol, Kyle.
Well, I mean, not necessarily that much, but I spend so much time on my feet because, like, one, I spend my time, like, I walk a lot at work, and also I don't really notice this, but I'm standing and walking a whole lot in VR, so I spend a lot of
well,
time.
It's good for you then.
Well, it hurts. Really, it doesn't.
It hurts.
It's uncomfortable.
Because you're using muscles that I'm used to.
I'm used to using them. I'm used to using them too much.
Not enough, I guess. It's a different set of muscles.
A lot of people play while sitting down, even if they're standing up, you know? And I'm like, nah, I gotta be
don't
standing
do that.
up.
Yeah. It's good for you to stand up.
Uh,
Too much sitting going on in the world. Too much sitting, I tell you. Not good for
every
you.
sec. I don't know why I sent mine over there. It should be over here. Need to remember all these skills.
There's a chest here.
Right.
It's not clicking. Oh, there was started. It wasn't clicking for me. Okay.
An Argonian chest. That's interesting. I bought the thief personality because I didn't have it. It's one of those, like, one of those constant personalities that never really goes out of the store, and so it's pretty cheap. It's always been there, I think, since I started playing. I just never got it. And I tend to collect those personalities, so I snatched it. Because I'm doing thief stuff with this character. So this Elder Scrolls sale, I guess, is going on Steam or something, and the official art that was posted for it shows, I think it shows like Skyrim, Oblivion Remastered, and ESO. But the very background of the advertisement shows Hammerfell, a map of Hammerfell. The UESP is like, what could this mean? We're kind of desperate, you know, for any kind of information.
What are you thinking?
It could be a coincidence, but it is odd that they just chose that segment of land. I think Hammerfell has a lot of stuff going for it. They already had an Elder Scrolls game in Hammerfell, but I don't really think it matters much, because that game came out in '96, and, you know, it'd be good to see a more revamped portion. I think that it very likely would allow us to go to, like, Sentinel, so, like, Alakir Desert, probably Craglorn. No cheese, ugh.
Chest, I got cheese. Chest.
So probably Alakir Desert, Craglorn, like, we're talking, maybe even High Rock, because people are saying Iliac Bay, I don't know. I think that it might just be Hammerfell. But they could do. They could have the story surround around the Adamantine Tower, which is north of Hammerfell. And it's in the bay. I've got my reasons, but it's really hard to tell what the game's gonna be about because the games jump in time sometimes. You know, like Skyrim was what a couple or a few hundred years. So you just really don't know when the next one's gonna take place. They could do a 1,000-year jump because that's how it feels. That's how long it felt like it's been. Crabs!
Yeah. He has to insult me again.
Remember, if you're hurt,
The shores are free from this threat you call mud crab.
I can't heal you.
They were attacking me. What do you expect?
Leave me alone.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Lord,
Oh,
that's a
jeez.
first.
Yeah, you just rolled right off.
You went.
You
fell
rolled
off
backwards.
I did. I fell right
You're
off
all
the cliff.
wet.
The ebony blade, this is it. We found the shrine.
It's never happened before. I guess I
Okay.
can't remember it happening.
No, I've never been pushed off. What do we do? How many times we gotta do this?
2 more.
2.
Oh, would you look at that? Hold
How
on.
about next time you get dungeons, you roll for something else?
I had the quest active. I actually get to finish the quest.
Unbelievable.
Oh.
You
Hooray!
spent years searching for the spinner's shrine, and these filthy creatures have been sitting right on top of it all along. Yes, you've done as we agreed.
She doesn't seem very
Take this
nice.
for your work. Now you will leave.
I
immediately.
expect
The secret
to
of
be
the
treated
spinner's
kinder by a
shrine are
Daedric
not for
cultist.
outsiders. You were ordered to leave. What lies beyond this door is not for your eyes.
Okay, I got a chess piece. And now we will leave the instance.
How do you do that again?
P. Hit T.
P and then E.
That was in Abba's Landing.
I am gone.
Okay. Hmm. Okay, going back in. The Thieves Guild story takes place in Hughes Bane. It's very... I get, like, Assassin's Creed vibes. Sneaking around in that environment. Like, a lot of secret areas. Jumping on rooftops. The vibe is the same. Except I'm not assassinating people. Alright, I'm there. Wow, you guys came in at like the same time. Okay. You guys. Have you have a necromancer, right, Mom?
Oh.
You
I
don't?
mean, I have one. That's not what this is.
Yeah, I know. But Necromancers are fun
Yes,
to
I have
play.
at least one. I'd have to.
They've got like a fun kind of economy of playing, because like what I can do is I can spawn a corpse, right? I can send out a guy. The guy launches to the enemies, and so he's a corpse on the ground, and now I can use another ability on that corpse to boost the damage in the general area. So I basically like I plant a seed, and then I kind of like grow the damage. It's pretty fun. There's various ways to do that. I can also become a big bone monster.
Yep, that one's fun.
Yeah, it was fun. You get a lot of extra health for that. It's good for tanks. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to there's a lot of different classes and different ways to play said classes, which is fun. Different builds are focusing on different resources, and he's down immediately. Ah, crap! Hold on, I need to sell. Just need 2 seconds. Literally 2 seconds. I am done.
I hate this lag.
Yeah, it's kind of irritating. I wonder if it's still gonna be around. There's gonna be an update like a week from now. I think update 50. And
No, it reminds me of. It reminds me of, there was that production technique on movies. I think I remember it the first time in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, when the witch and all of her minions were coming at. It's a big fight, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it goes silent, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh.
and then the sound comes back.
Yeah.
It's jarring because all of a sudden it's quiet.
Is that when they're like
It's
charging
horrible.
each other, and then like when they
Yeah.
when they finally hit each other, like the sound hits you all at
Yeah.
once? Yeah, it's kind of like
what
that.
I think of.
I was watching that relatively recently because I don't know, people were like kind of sharing stuff about Narnia on Twitter, and I was watching the battle sequence, and I was like, this actually looks pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
it looks pretty good for the age. Yeah, the drama was great. It is pretty neat how it just all goes silent, and then all the sound hits
I think
you
that
when
was
they
the
charge.
first time since it's been copied.
Yeah.
And other movies have done it. But
They-
at the time, it was kind of dramatic.
They kind of did the exact opposite in The Last Jedi when she does like the hyperdrive sequence into the enemy ship, and instead everything just goes completely silent, and the movie theaters had to put out warnings because they were like, this movie has a portion where everything goes completely silent. It is
Right.
not our sound. Our sound is still working.
Right. Because people are going, what's going
Yeah,
on?
people are going, where's the sound? For me, when I watched it, I wasn't confused, because it's kind of more of a modern technique to kind of show how it's like so dramatic and powerful, you just don't hear it. And then it like does a zoom out shot where it like shows it from a huge distance away, and then you hear the sound go boom, like,
Right.
it's so cool.
Just
I liked the movie a lot. Then people on the internet were like, if you talk about how much you like this movie, you'll be shunned forever. And I was like, I don't care. I like the movie.
oh, here's this chest.
I got cheese too. I'm so lucky this round. Oh, the violence is happening.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
it's okay. No rush. Oh, she needs to sell. I'm just looking up at the waterfall waiting, and then I just see your bird appear. Like I'm like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a while. I'm leaving. That's it. We'll wait over here. Dad, no. It's fine. It's fine. We're not pulling the boss. We're not pulling the boss. Dad might have to deal with the crabs, but we're not pulling the boss. Oh, you got them all. Nice.
I thought that was a rock. Bravely done, Tamid. Sorry, you can't tell a rock from a crab.
A crab.
Are you ready?
No, Mom's still. You see Mom over there. She's still at the waterfall. We're not judging you. Just thought you should know.
I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm gonna mark myself as junk. I'm really glad you don't have to collect all these on different characters.
Okay.
Alright, you guys. I wonder where the speed run for like the fastest like Fungal Grotto is, or the fastest killing of this boss at least. It's probably like 2 seconds.
If we do it in like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
That was some of our fastest if we don't stop and do chess.
Yeah, that's kind of our record.
Yeah, somebody probably has about like, 25 seconds.
Yeah, some people are so crazy powerful. Mathematicians. But hey, as long as we can get it done. Okay. I'm gonna leave instance.
By the ebony blade.
As I hit the loading screen, I just hear, "Buy the ebony blade. This is it." Let me know when you're free.
I'm out.
I'm out.
Why am I doing that? I think there's supposed to be a Zeal of Zenithar event sometime soon. That'll be nice. There's also going to be that High Seas of Tamriel event, which I now understand how it works, and it's very simple. A bit repetitive, but... I'm there. My chat catalogs NPC dialogue, so that I can like read it in case I wasn't really paying attention. And I just have, "By the ebony blade, this is it. We found the shrine." It's 2 times over. That's
I saw
all
a
anyone
character's
said.
His name was Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Is it like Obi-Wan, like with the number 1?
No?
No. So like he actually scored the name Obi-Wan Kenobi before
was-
anyone else?
It was O-B-O-N-E, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh,
can't
okay.
remember how Kenobi was, but
Okay, so he spelled
someone's
it
got a peddler
O.
of prizes right in my face.
That is
Alright. Get rid of it.
Mom's.
What an honor it is to have.
Okay. Alright. Here goes. We're starting at 9:29. I'm trying to loot. Come on. Okay. Got it. They should put a house in Fungal Grotto. I mean, we practically live here. I still have to do that trial for the night market, and I'm really nervous. And the night market goes away in a couple weeks. I'm gonna have to do it at some point, but every time someone offers, like, in the group finder, I chicken out, because I'm scared. Like, I had a friend describe it to me, and I was like, can we do rocket science instead? Like, I'm glad they're making them hard. It's better than having it easy, because once it's easy, then you've done it once, and it's like, eh. But if it's hard, then you can always go in for a challenge. But it's like, it's so stressful with other people. I think she has a trial group, too, so it's like, if you have a trial group, then it's no problem. But I'm going to be doing it with a bunch of randos, probably literally nobody I know.
Maybe you should start doing more DPS and not worry about healing and all that.
But what would that change?
Because I don't think it's as stressful if you're with a whole bunch of...
Well, the thing is, though, is what's interesting about this trial is that it doesn't really seem to be focused on if you're good at DPS or heals. It's mechanics. So it doesn't really sound like I should be intimidated about my healing or damage. It was more like you need to know what to do and when. And so that scared me a lot, because that sounds really scary. Ugh. But I don't know. I'm probably gonna watch like a playthrough, or read it rather, and then see if I understand it enough. I'm sure I'm not gonna be the only one there that doesn't get it.
No.
But I definitely would go in on clouds, because I wouldn't feel confident with anyone else. You know what? Bone monster! Yeah, this really ups your health. So this is good. This is a good ultimate for tanks to really like hold their own. Nice. Oh, I saw a heavy sack here, by the way, just really quick. By the skeleton. It was probably his. Well, who cares? Cheese.
No. Come on. Oh, no cheese for me.
There's cheese over here. And also a heavy sack to the left.
No, oh, I did get that cheese.
Heavy sack over here.
Sack right here.
Like goblins.
Oh, the chest is here again.
Oh boy, well there goes our record. Okay. I don't think we were making record time anyway.
Mm-mm.
You ever watch a speedrunner, like, you probably never watched a speedrunner stream, but a lot of times speedrunners have, like, if they're doing a thing, they'll, like, section off different areas, and so I guess in this case it would be, like, that first boss, they would use that first boss as a checkpoint, and then it's like, okay, we got to that first boss in record time, and then the next segment would be, maybe the second boss, and it'd be like, oh, let's see if we can get the second boss in record time, and they've got, like, all these stats pulled up. Yeah, we ain't making record
here they
time.
come.
Okay, hold on. I just gotta get my bearings. I'm kind of... Okay. Why am I having a hard time? I'm hoping it's not the crabs that are...
Maybe it's all the crabs.
Nah, I'm pretty sure I phased through them. It is all in my head. Alright. My other ultimate summons a giant Fletch Atronach, which I really like.
Yeah,
Yeah. Ow.
he's good.
I remember seeing that for the first time. It was at a Dolmen in Auradon, probably in 2019, because that's when Necromancer came out. And I saw that and I freaked out, because I thought, like, is that part of the Dolmen? I mean, it's a big Fletch Atronach. Scared me. We're making good time on him. Yep, did it. Yeah, we did about 6 minutes. I mean,
Yeah,
we started at like
chests in
9:29. Yeah, that's true. I think it was a good time.
And
There it
I
is,
am
the third.
done.
We found a shrine.
Now what?
Let's see, do I need anything done? Well, I need 2 trials done, but we're not doing that. I need to collect wood.
I'll
And
be fighting you with those because I need it.
let me see. I do need to discover lore books, so that's just something I can do on this character. So if anyone else needs anything done, let me know.
If we could do our own resource collecting and still chat a bit. I guess.
What resources do you guys need?
I need wood and
I am done. If you want to go someplace, I can help point out where wood is, or
runestones.
could
and wood.
be.
Okay, then we'll let Dad lead the way, and then we'll take turns over who gets the logs. Like it'll go me, then Mom, and then me.
Oh, that's right.
and then
You
Mom.
don't know
What
where
are we
things
what?
are.
Dad wants to go to a place to try to get logs, and we'll trade. Like once he finds a log, you get one, and then I get one, and then you get one, and then I get one.
Okay. Is this a?
You said you needed logs, right? Because I thought you said that you needed a log.
I do. I need logs.
Perfect. Good. Okay. Then we should go to, where do you think, Dead? Canarthi?
Well, I'm looking at like Alderaan has some section.
It's been
Okay,
7
you wanna
years.
make fun of me? I'm
I'm
just gonna
sorry.
go away.
Okay, it's fine. Look, we were talking about Star Wars. We're confused. I mean, maybe that could be a place if you see a lot of wood spawns.
I mean, Somerset has a lot of wood spawns.
Technically, Alderaan is part. Aradon is part of Somerset. Dang it!
I mean, Somerset has a lot of rune stone.
Stones has wood.
Makes sense. All the ruins, I guess.
I mean,
Um,
okay, I'm gonna go. I'll let you know when I'm there.
Okay.
And I think when we'll head south from this way shrine.
Okay.
Oh,
I found this cool skull.
oh, yes, you
okay,
did.
I am
Yeah.
there.
I
Where
was
am I now?
almost accidentally kicked from group. Yeah, I'm wearing my thief outfit. I found a hood that actually works with the mask that I'm wearing, because like there's no clipping or anything, and it looks really nice. It just kind of snugly fits.
Okay.
Let the cat fight those monsters.
Um,
I'm getting out of here.
There's a rune stone right here.
Oh, shimmering. Okay, hold on.
Hello.
Well, we're not looking for rune stones, but yeah.
Mom is
Oh, are
right.
you?
Mom, you need
Yeah, I
rune
need rune
stones.
stones and
Oh,
wood.
okay, I
There's a
didn't
rune
know.
stone.
Never mind.
I mean, I'm okay. It'll give me something to do till Tuesday.
Well,
Otherwise, I hit Monday with nothing to do.
Okay, this would have been wood, but it's not here.
would have been wood.
Would have been wood. That would have been a rune stone, but it's not here.
Wait, does that mean that I get the next wood because you got the runestone?
Sure.
Okay.
There would have been wood there, but there's no wood there.
Been a while
See,
since we
this
were
is
here.
No rune stone here. I think there's wood. Okay, there's wood here. Whee!
Oh, it's maple. No wonder I didn't recognize. All right, thank you. I don't really craft on any character outside of Clouds. Really, it's kind of embarrassing, but
No, not there. Not here. Okay, there's wood here.
I feel like a companion. Alright, it's Mom's. I haven't done the main quest here, so Raz is down there fighting Yagra. Runestone, over here for you, Mom. Oh, I should put on a tabard.
Okay, here's a rune stone.
Oh, is this
I'm
that?
okay with the runestones. Like I
What?
said, it gives me it'll give me something to
I'm
rune on.
finding them. They're all over.
You just can't
Here's
help it.
wood. Here's a wood.
Who got the last one?
I think you did because you said it was maple.
Okay, Mom gets this one. Can I get the Sky Shard up here at the Keep of 11 Forces? Can we take a detour at the Keep of 11 Forces? And I need that Sky Shard up there.
How did you take that?
Because I don't have those. I'm
Wow.
getting them. Okay, there's another piece of wood over here to my left.
Yeah, that's Kyle's.
I'm coming.
You said you wanted to get your rune stones by yourself.
Although, to be fair, I need more than I thought I did.
Whoa.
So,
I forgot. I think this is where you come out when you're doing the tutorial that no longer exists. Come in.
We're 30. This one's not there. No wood there.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
There's no wood there.
I thought you said you found some.
Nope. I'm looking. There's no wood there.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. I think we're double back where we were. So let me see. Where am I? Okay. There's a whole lot more
Maybe
down
this is where you
way.
come out of, actually.
This is where you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
are too, huh?
there's a chest.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
You can have it. That's your payment.
Creatures,
Oh, you go.
covers, they're hideous.
I think this is their... This is probably their highest rated DLC. I assume. Whenever I put out a poll, it seems
No
to win.
wood there. Oh,
I like being able to just bonk things with a big hammer.
okay. There's wood here.
Okay,
There.
so that's, I guess, Mom's.
This is a mushroom or something. I'm getting that. Okay. Cornflower.
You know, we kind of look like we should be careful because we look like bots the way that we're moving.
Here's
sometimes.
another
Kyle,
wood.
here's some over here.
Here's
some
a
wood.
wood here.
Oh, hey, it's actually ruby ash for me. Interesting. Thank you. Why is that?
Here's a wood here.
Huh. Give me your laugh force. There we go.
There's a wood up here.
I lost track. You
I-
or me?
I think you just picked one up, right? You
Sorry.
could-
Here.
Okay, thank you. I haven't even completed one of these, by the way. Like
Oh.
I'm at 0-6. So
Oh.
yeah, I'm kind of desperate.
Don't worry about me then.
No, I mean, you can
I
have
think
some.
I'm on my last.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Oh, there's a wood
Just-
here. The wood
Let's see.
here.
Okay. You know what? Fine. I'll take it.
You know what? I'm done with wood. Sorry.
Oh, are you? Did you just get done, or have you been done this whole time?
Don't ask.
There's a wood here.
Have you had Mom,
Please don't ask
have
me
you had
that.
have you had to pick up your tome points at all at this during this session?
There's also
Yes, I've been picking up tomes.
here's
Okay.
a rune stone here,
Okay.
Mom, if you want it. He's got the
Okay, so
wood.
yeah,
There's a
I'll
chest
do
over
stones.
here. If
Any
somebody
wood is all
wants it.
Kyle's.
No, it's a rune stone if you want it. And then there's a chest if someone wants it. I have that
I
one
got
too.
that room stuff.
You can have the chest, Mom. I'm just here for the wood. These like search for material challenges are so ridiculously hard.
Here's another wood
They
up
are
here.
very time consuming.
Oh yeah, another runestone here.
Yeah, rune stone down there, wood up here.
Thank you.
Ooh, an Indrik. I don't need to pick a fight with him. We could, but
I don't need to pick a fight with an Indrik. Well, it's walking towards you. The Indrik's coming up behind you.
let's
Did you get the runestone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, that one's gone. There's another rune stone over here.
Okay.
Are you purposefully doing a poor job? Because I can come to
No
no
wood
other
there.
conclusion.
This is absurd. No one can meet these standards, not even you.
No wood there.
There's some arguing high elves over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're bickering about. There's a
Let's
Sapiarch. There's a runestone here.
Are you purposefully doing a poor job? No wood there.
Oh, it seems I am not only beset upon by my own indolent
Okay.
assistants, but by the curiosity of passing vagrants as well. A research exercise that needs to be concluded as soon as possible, as well as possible, and with as few distractions as possible. Given the assistance I must work with, my goal can only be attained with strict motivation.
Now, let's see, there should be wood in this direction. A line of it.
Sorry, but I don't have time to chat. At least not while the Sapiarch is watching me like a hawk. The college is breathing down the Sapiarch's neck, so he's taking it out on us. And as a lowly assistant, I have no
Nope,
room to
not
complain.
there.
Great.
I have to keep working, else I'll never become a Sapiarch, if you'll excuse
Oh,
me.
Griffin. I don't want to mess with the Griffin.
I don't have Persuade, so I don't think I can really get the outcome that I want to have. I'm gonna go help Dad.
That's. What all did you have to do to get that outfit?
This,
That's not there.
what I'm wearing,
There's a
is
rune stone up here.
it's custom.
Okay, here's wood over here.
Coming.
Explain. Oh, you put it together. Oh, that's
Yeah.
what the thieves.
Yeah, this I put together custom. I've got, I think it's Greymore pants. I have the very unique like Nordic Thane shoulders. I think. Oh wow, yeah. There's that Griffin that I was talking about. We're heading towards you. I guess I could show you everything I used to make it, but
That's okay. I thought you said you were wearing a thieves.
well, I do this. I said this is my thieves outfit, as in like I made it to kind of look sneaky.
There's a rune stone here,
You're
and
right.
then wood is over here.
Thank you. It's kind of hard to see because it's, you know, actually normal foliage color.
I see another Indrik.
Some mushrooms.
There's
instant-
wood here.
Thank you. Okay, I'm 2 away from my first tier.
Not there.
There's some wood up here, up here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow, it's just so hard to see. Thank you.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, we're back at the 11 Forces. There's a runestone down there, Mom. Over here. By this imp and to the right. Against the wall.
Over here.
It's kind of hidden if you're not looking at the
Over
right
here.
angle.
Here.
You're gonna find runestones against like ruins usually. So think ruins. They spawn next to like, you know, ancient fortification walls and stuff. It's kind of a it's a general place they spawn. I literally didn't even realize that until probably a month or two ago. And I was like, oh, because I was wondering why there were
Okay,
so
there's
many
wood up
Argonian
here.
ruins.
Yeah, but they can
Thank
also
you.
be just out. in the
They
middle of
can
nowhere.
be, but I'm just saying, like, I generally find them like against like the walls of, like, there's another one too. Because like if you go by the ruins of Tenaria on Solstice, you can just like make a loop and get like 8 of them or more. It's crazy. And I was like, oh, I think it's because it's a ruin. I don't know.
Rune and ruin are two different things.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's an easy way to remember it.
Yeah, I
Think
guess.
you find ruins, buy ruins.
Okay, there's wood up here.
But they can also be other places. Maybe it's a placebo, but I just tend to notice it. I went to High Isle and tested my theory, and I felt like I was vindicated.
Okay.
I'm known for my very accurate theories. Oh, ow. What is this? Oh, this is metal.
There's wood down here.
We're in the middle of nowhere. Okay.
What up here?
Thank you. Thank you. This is
I
just
take it you don't. I take it it's not glowing for you.
yeah.
You
I don't
haven't
have
done-
keen
that
eye.
sucks.
I can't see anything. I think I need to like start. What's the word? Polishing whatever the word is for going to a crafting table and perfecting it for crafting. Torheim card. Or
Another one down here, I think.
Ooh, danger, danger.
Yep.
danger, Will Robinson.
Oh. And the Endrick fear.
Oh, here it is. Sorry, it's again. It's just so hard to see it. Basically, might as well not even be there. Camouflages so well.
That's stuff because the boss is around here.
Oh yeah, that's like for the collector thingy. Wouldn't mind another event in Somerset, so I have a reason to go here more often.
There's wood over here.
Thank you.
Nope, that one's gone. There's a runestone here, Mom.
That's okay. I'm kind of off doing my own.
Okay. And that wood's gone, and there's an Endrick on the other side of the tree.
Okay. Stop with my runestone, so I'll have something to do tomorrow.
Okay, that wood gone.
That's the last
We're
one.
suffering from success.
Mhm.
Is you gonna take this from this guy? I'm so good at stealing. Wasn't stealing.
That wood's gone.
I don't recognize this place.
This wood's gone.
Oh, there's Shimmerine though.
Up here's the grapes.
Okay, so this must be
Oh, there's wood. There's wood over here.
Russefeld, right? No, we're too far north.
We're close
Is it? Are we?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, this is this is definitely
the way
Russellfeld.
trains right to the left of where you're at.
Sometimes I like to not use my map, because then it's like, see how well I know the place. Everything feels more expansive.
Okay, let's set another wood over here. Let's see if it's there. Whee! It is still here.
Thank you.
That one's gone. And this is going to be a drop, I'm sure.
Nah, it doesn't look like it.
But
there is an Indrik.
There's an Indrik, yeah.
And it's still danger. I'm gonna sneak past, because I'm sneaky. Yeah, this is south of Russellfeld. And there's a Sky Shard. I need it.
And that wood's gone.
We're all over the place.
Yeah, we're back around where we were before. Okay, there's wood here.
Coming. We're back by the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay. If it was a snake, it would have bit me.
That one's gone. That one's gone. That one's gone. We're probably back where we were before, aren't we?
We've taken all the wood in this area. I've never seen like wood spawn, I don't think.
Well, it should come back every now and then, but
Yeah.
here's one.
Thank you.
I'm also finding some resources I don't have, so I'm. A lot of people are out doing night market, so.
Yeah, true.
Well, it's 10.
So it is, well, it's 9:59, but yes. We should probably be somewhere where there's more trees.
Here's another wood.
Thank you.
I don't know how much more I'm gonna. Oop,
Yeah.
I should not have had a Dr. Pepper at 6 o'clock.
I'm freezing. Okay.
You're freezing.
Well, I mean, yeah, all of a sudden my screen just stops.
Oh.
Okay, we're in an area of a lot of rune stones, but not much wood.
I need that wood. I need it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could definitely get by without, you know, I'll probably just like wander around Canarthes and check the beaches, robbing from those poor new players. Zos makes me do this.
Well, the other thing is, you know, you get 6 for every survey, so.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going home.
Okay. I will probably get on. Maybe I'll get on clouds. I would have better luck with my keen eye, and
What
they're
are-
all
what are you
red.
at? What are you at?
I'm at like 1.5. So I completed 1, and I'm at 10 out of 15. So I guess so.
And you got to do 5 or 6?
6 in all, but I've done 1. So basically like 4.5 more of them.
You've done almost 2, so yeah.
Yeah, well,
I mean, like I said, a survey takes care of 6.
yeah,
so-
survey's good in a pinch, but also even if I don't make it past the reset, it carries over. I know it like gets overwhelming because like it's it's an extra one, but I've done it before, and
Yeah, I mean,
It's
maybe you'll
okay.
get another one that says, "Oh, get wood."
I mean technically,
That is-
yeah, that's true. I could double and get them done at the same time, but I'm pretty sure if I like didn't do this, but I kept doing my challenges, technically I could carry this challenge like until the end of time. I think because it's not that you need to get this particular challenge done within a few weeks. Is that you can only have like 12 of these in your log at all times, which means that technically I could hold on to this forever if I kept getting the other challenges done. You just can't go past 12, as I understand it. So it never
Yeah,
I never really feel
I've
too
never
stressed.
tried it, so yeah.
I think that's a good system. If they like demanded like endeavors where it's like you miss out, that gets rough because that demands your attention. But I feel more relaxed with these because now it's like if I get other ones done, I make a space for ones that are harder. So
I guess if you got another one, it would start at 0, and this one would keep incrementing. So you could finish one and still have another one open, right? Because they wouldn't both finish at the same time if you were to get another one now.
yeah, if I got another one now, then this one would definitely end first because I've already
Right.
done 1 or 2.
But every wood you found would count towards 2.
Yeah, they would definitely count. And also, I'm pretty sure if you do something like a eliminate these enemies endeavor or a collect materials one, it like even if you don't accept the points, it still knows that you're collecting those things. So, for example, when we were killing those Atronachs, I had killed like 4 more than I needed to, and I picked up my points, and it immediately put the 4 into the next layer of my challenge. So
So yeah, if you don't go, if you
Yeah.
don't collect, but it's not going to save them for if you finish a challenge and then get another one.
no, it wouldn't do
Yeah,
that. But at least
right.
it makes sure that it's like if you don't like grab your points, at least it's still keeping track of how many you're
Well,
doing.
yeah, I found that out because I have some that. Where was that? Okay, I've had some that, say like kill these 2 bosses,
Right.
and when you kill the 2 bosses, it counts as 2. So you get the 1, and then it still has a little eye there, and you get the other one, and it does 2. So yeah, I knew
Right.
it kept them for you. So.
It's a decent
Yeah.
system. It's better than Endeavors, in my opinion. And because I don't feel as much pressure to complete something.
At least I didn't get booted tonight, and I didn't have to do a repair. It was seeming like that was happening almost every night.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and I'm up to like 22,000 tomes.
Yeah, I like I got a bunch of them because I did the 5,000, like I got 5,000 favors, so I just
Yeah, you got
grabbed a bunch of
2,000
those.
tomes.
Yeah, so I might have too many at this point. I'm actually not entirely sure, but I need to check. I actually grabbed those wolves. Did you? I didn't know. Did you see what's cool about the wolf mount that they gave out? There, it's this it's in tier 10, right? It's the middle. Well, actually, you know what? Hold on. We might want to look away. It's actually a premium thing. I didn't notice.
Oh, okay. I was going to say,
Sorry,
I don't remember.
I'm sorry.
Kind of like,
My
whoa,
bad.
what?
I'm sorry. But just for future reference, though, if you ever want to get premium, because Mom, you still do have a birthday present that you need to grab. They the wolf has like, see, the wolf has two versions. It has a dawn version and a dusk version for day and night, and then it has a version that, depending on what time of day it is, it looks different. So if it's daytime, it'll look like the daytime wolf. Nighttime, it'll look like the nighttime wolf, and I find that kind of interesting. It's very new. Hello, Craze.
That is interesting.
Yeah, it's your 4-year mod anniversary. Wow. Congratulations. Thank you for being such a good mod. I'm sorry I'm very mean when I'm not thinking. It happens a lot. But yeah,
Alright.
just if you want a premium, I'm at like 2,347 tomes.
They have a I already got out, but I can't remember what it was. But if you click on the button about premium or something, and it lists the prices, but then there's something else. I can't remember the wording, but it was like 20 premium tome or something. I don't know, but it was like, what?
Okay.
Buy it with tomes?
Okay,
Or-
yeah. So what they're saying is, I think it's like if you like buy so many premium tomes, then I think you eventually get one free. So it's like if you've bought like maybe 3 premium tomes in a row, maybe 2, then you like, I think you get the next one free or something. Just kind of as a way for them to, you know, reward you for your commitment. But I'll have to look into it. Because I know you get those caches for if you have ESO Plus, and yeah, it seems like one of those things where a lot of games do this. It's like if you get a battle pass and you like buy so many battle passes, eventually you can use currency from that pass to buy a pass for free. Just kind of like reward you for, you know, buying a couple in a row. That's what Overwatch does. Like, Overwatch has passes, but a lot of the passes in Overwatch I haven't even paid any money for because I've just played so much that I get the currency from the previous pass. It's a way to keep players engaged in your game and keep player numbers up and constant because they're wanting to get that currency to get the pass again. So it's just kind of a win-win scenario. They win and players win. So.
All right. Well, thank you. Had a good time.
Same.
See you later. Love you.
See ya. Love you too.
Have a good night.
Night.
Bye.
Bye. This is a good piece, Crazed. Look at that, you're improving. Wow. You just keep... How are you getting better so fast? Yeah, you keep improving. I'm impressed. You're welcome. goodness. I've had a busy day today. I should probably get this stuff, like, but I'm gonna go to a bank so I can just kind of drop it off. Like, I can't really see today's stream being too long because I got a late start, and also I don't really think that we're gonna do Overwatch because I don't see Minty joining me tonight. I think we have a headache situation, so I might just skip on that. Yes, Minty head hurting. My head was hurting last night when I was streaming. I had my neck and my head hurt. Oh my god. Well, it wasn't like migraine, but it was like fatigue, I guess. I don't know.
Maintain proper order. Time is gold, so don't waste mine. What do you need?
Sound good, but actually hold on. Actually hold on. Yeah, definitely. That's who I want to say hold on to. Oh, Black Kirgo Brigand. This is pretty cool. Did not know about this. I did not know that was an outfit style. Is that a new thing? Wow, pretty nice. Very Southern Elsewhere-y. Ooh. I like it. Ooh, those pants. Those are good. Southern Elsewhere stuff is very specific though because of the coloring, you know, because of the beads. So you need to have like a certain vibe, but very good. Okay, what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, that's right. My brain's not working. Okay, let's grab currencies first. Dang! Grants your active companion 50,000 experience. Okay. So, let's see. These are keys. This is a currency. This is going to be a furnishing, so I'm not going to put this in my bank, actually. I'm going to put this in my furniture TARDIS. This goes in the bank. Oh, no, hold on. I don't have enough room in my inventory? Oh, shoot. Okay. Good. Alright, give me a second. And grab, and then... Okay. So, then I just need to grab these crates, and I don't have enough tomes, so that's gonna have to wait, I guess, but we'll get there. So now I'm going to actually put...
Yes? Something I can help you with?
This in my bank. I'm gonna put 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so everything else goes into my furniture TARDIS, which is going to be at my college in Artaeum. So today, I woke up early and we went to the Science Museum, which was fun. We were there for few hours. Still definitely one of the best, if not the best, science museums I've ever been to. I think I haven't been there in like a decade, but it's just as I remember it. And after that, we came home and went to go get pizza. I bought some Domino's. I got my own pizza, like personal pizza. And we did presents, and then we did cake. Not my birthday, it was my brother's birthday. And then we just sat around and talked for a long time. And then started stream. So I did have to wake up early, right? So like, I went to sleep a little earlier, but still pretty rough on me. Oh, oh, you can add a nickname. That's interesting. Is that a nickname for the whole thing? I can't preview that? That's interesting. I can't preview it. Huh. So wait, I can rename the whole thing? Like, yeah, there we go. That's good. I did crazed. I did. I called it my furniture TARDIS. In fact, that's kind of... I need to remember what it's called. I think it's called a luxury vault by default. I don't remember. I think so. My footsteps are so quiet. I can't even hear them. It's just... I'm so silent. Is that like part of the personality, or am I just imagining that? Because, like, I don't know. I'm barely hearing anything. Okay, I'm kind of hearing it better. Maybe it's my volume. Probably. I was like, does the thieves personality make you quieter? Because I'm like, that probably would be a disadvantage in PvP. That doesn't seem right to me. Okay. So I need to do the wood thing. That's probably going to be like off stream over the course of the week or whatever. And I need to do lore books, which I'm going to force myself to not read them all. We're going to, you know, let's go ahead and go in here. I'm sure the Psijics have some juicy books. Then again, if they're juicy, then I might not be able to ignore them, and I'd just be stuck reading. So I have rediscovered something. Sneaky, sneaky. I have rediscovered something. And that is, I really like wearing, like, vacation shirts, you know? So I started wearing my, like, button-up vacation shirts. We're talking, like, you know, like, imagine a tropical t-shirt that's, like, it's more like a tropical button-up where it's, like, really, really loose, you know, and airy. I started like wearing those again on my vacation. I picked them up for my cruise back in 23, and then I just never wore them since. But I started wearing them again, and I'm like, holy shit, these are good. Like, they're so comfy. Like, in the Texas summer, they're like the thing to wear, because they're just so airy and light, and the material's good. So I've just been wearing those a lot. I mean, obviously I love my t-shirts, but the way that these feel are just so nice. Oh yeah, I remember reading this. I wonder if this is like someone's OC that like won a contest. Like a Hawaiian shirt, exactly. That's what I mean. Except they're not, but yeah, I guess they are. They all have tropical patterns. I've got like 3 of them. One is like one kind of looks like what Dale's shirt from Chip and Dale, and the other one, also, coincidentally, is a Disney one. It's got Mickey on it and a lot of designs, and the other one's just kind of light blue design. And I got those 3 for my vacation. Obviously, it was a Disney vacation. Justin J. And I don't know why I just didn't keep wearing them, but let me tell you, they are the perfect thing to wear in the summer. I like how fitting Sadathil's room is, you know? It's so fitting. It's so him-coded. It just says book. Tears of Anurame. Why is that here? I've been reading the Tears of Anurame recently, like completely coincidentally, because I feel like it might actually be a key as to why the Doomcrag failed. I don't really know why it's here. I like it. It just says book. It's so weird. Chosen People of Almeris. This is also a very weird book to have here, but okay. Oh yeah, that's very odd. Okay, I should probably go to, like, let's go to the, like a Mage's Guild somewhere. That's gonna have a lot of books. I could go to maybe the Scholarium. That would be a good choice. But I don't know. Okay. Artaeum. Lady Shadow Kitty. Okay, maybe just go down this way. I also know I probably shouldn't be doing this, but like, hear me out. I've got, like I said, I've got 3 of these Hawaiian shirts, so I was sleeping in one, right? It just felt so good, especially since I've got like a floor fan now. So I've got a floor fan kind of like at the foot of my bed, and I've got the shirt on. It's not really like overwhelmingly hot here in Texas yet. It's just kind of like high, or like maybe low 90s, but it's pretty nice. It's nice. Okay. Oh, hold on, that was my Facebook. Okay, Facebook muted. Cheeses of Tamriel. A Tale Forever Told. I'm gonna assume that I haven't seen those on this character. It's not gonna like say, really? The same book? It must have come out with Somerset. I remember, here's Sarabane. When I got into Somerset, it was just probably like mid-2019 or something, because I remember we were doing the Somerset story around July 4th. So probably somewhere around there. And we had likely been in Somerset for a while before then, maybe a month or 2. So I remember going here in mid-2019, being completely overwhelmed by the idea that I was actually in Somerset, and I was thinking to myself, everyone expects me to like know things, because my family, even at that time, was like, oh, he knows the lore. And I remember going here and reading stuff, because I was like, I need to read more about Somerset, because I know stuff, but obviously I don't know enough, and so I tried to read a bunch of stuff and get up to date. In the early days. Slowed. Dang it, I got caught up in reading again. I need to stay focused. Dang it, I got caught up again! Okay. Got it again. Hold. Okay, we're at 5 out of 6. Really though, hold on. Just give me a second. By 5 and 3. 5 and 3. 5 and 3. Why 5 and 3? There's a lot of overlap with Xerxes and Hermaeus, and it confuses me, or it interests me rather, not confusing. Okay, we must stay focused. We must stay focused. To the Fighters Guild! They probably have books on stabbing people or something, so... That's important, right? Imagine missing out on this. I don't know. Imagine going like, I'm gonna wait for another Elder Scrolls game, I'm not gonna play ESO, and then missing out on this. Fighters Guild. Ah, here it is, of course.
Did you come here for crafting certificates?
Honestly, I probably should. Next time in the field, I'll use a great warhammer. Or 2.
And our fingers, what now?
Books. Apocrypha. Books. Oh, you know what? While I'm here, I should probably sign up and get Intimidate. I've wanted that, didn't I? You're not the... No. Who's the person? You? Paul Stewart.
The Divine Prosecution seems to turn their noses up at everyone, but us especially. Like we're offending them just by being here. Well, we're going to do our job whether they like it or not. Care to join us? Of course. The land has no shortage of need for smart, capable fighters. Take the
I
desert
am
anchors
neither,
that are
man.
falling across the continent. The Fighters Guild seems to be the only group holding them back. Strange assemblies of chains and metal. We call them Daedric anchors in the guild. They're falling across all of Tamriel, and only the Fighters Guild seems willing to try and destroy them. And to do that, we need recruits. Then let me be the first to welcome you, Associate. I recommend you start by dispatching as many Daedra as you can. If you come across any Daedric anchors, destroy them. You'll get extra rewards and special missions if you do.
Okay, does that... So did I officially
Sunhold's in the grasp
join?
of a Maormer raid. Orgnum's most vicious admiral is at the forefront. And will the proxy queen ask for help? No. It's a private concern.
That's interesting. I had no idea that she commented on that. I didn't... This interesting, getting this dialogue. Huh. So she's commenting on Sunhold, which is like a public dungeon right now, and it's like, you know, attacked by Maormer. That's kind of neat. I wonder if, like... Well, it didn't update my map, I guess, so... Anyway, like, does that mean that now I can... Yeah! Here we go! Okay, okay. Intimidating presence. There we go. Perfect. I probably should have done Persuade in the Mages Guild too. I'm gonna need to go over there, probably. Cold Harbor Compact. Rules of the Spiral Skein. All relevant to what's going on right now. Night Mother's Truth. Hello, I'm back. I am looking for whoever is in charge. Magus?
The Mages Guild started here in Somerset. Did you know that? Our illustrious founder, Vanus Galerian, was born and raised here. Remarkable high elf. Kind of an arse, but remarkable nonetheless. How can I help you, friend?
Sir, for those that don't know, the, oh, do I talk to you?
I
No.
never expected to live long enough to visit, let alone work, in the Alinor Mages Guild. The High Elves have a rich and ancient magical tradition. I hope to increase my knowledge while I'm here. If I can find mages willing to share, that is.
Yeah, it must be really rough being an Argonian here. Also, I want an old man personality. I like, if we had this kind of personality, imagine the creative characters we could make. But yeah, no, I'm looking for... Wait, was that always Rizlov? Did that change? I don't recall seeing that. Magister, here we go.
You're not part of the Mages Guild, are you? Perhaps you would like to be.
You convinced me.
We're an association of mages and scholars who collect and catalogue the information strewn throughout Tamriel. Be it tomes, scrolls, or whatever else, we amass this knowledge and ensure its preservation. If you join, such would be your duty. We have several arts that are known to only us, which you would be welcome to learn. We also, on occasion, can provide missions to those of adventurous spirit. Some of these missions may have you working with the Archmage himself. Excellent! Then I grant you admission into our
unlikely.
order with the responsibility and privilege that goes with it. Any texts or scrolls you uncover will now increase your standing within the order.
Nice. Okay, so now I have that, and I can use Mage's Guild to get Pervasive Will. Okay, so, anyway. For those that don't know, Vanus Galerian, that's actually not even his original name. His original name is Trectus. He was born on Somerset, taken in by the Sigics. I'm pretty sure something about like his father was executed for reading or something or the other. Like, he was born at a time, I guess, when that wasn't as encouraged. I'm trying to remember the story correctly. And Vanus was taken in by the Psijics. Big fan of knowledge. The Psijics gave him a new name as Vanus Galarian. And he studied with them for a while, right? And he met Mannimarco there, and they kind of became buddies. But Mannimarco eventually was more interested in necromancy and...
If you came for crafting, I can assist.
And Vanus wasn't, obviously. And Vanus was like... Vanus was friends with him, but he wasn't like friends where he was like, oh, I'm just going to let you do this bad stuff. He reported Mannimarco to the Psijic Order, where they handled Mannimarco terribly. Because whereas Vanus was expecting the Psijic Order to, like, literally punish Mannimarco, or maybe contain him, or maybe defeat him, or whatever, they instead banished Mannimarco to mainland Tamriel, which is basically like setting a wolf free in a pen of sheep. And Vanus was like so appalled by that and betrayed that it pissed him off, and he left the Psijic Order and decided, you know what, I'm going to start my own group that isn't so restrictive on who gets to be taught magic, and I'm going to allow anyone to basically learn magic instead of just only reserving it for special masses. And he wanted to make it more accessible for the everyday man. And so he founded the Mages Guild to kind of give people that. So that's kind of the history of where it came from. And that's honestly, I don't remember how long ago that was. I want to say when the Mages Guild was like charted, I think Rillis the 12th was there. So that's kind of might give you the age. I forget who else was there. I think Ikesis was there as well, but of course that doesn't really give you much of an age because Ikesis is probably positively ancient. I'm pretty sure it was like the beginning of the Second Era, somewhere around there. Nah, no one's here. But yeah, that's why Vanus founded the Mages Guild, was to kind of allow people to be, like, delve into magic if they wanted to, and not just preserve it for a select few. But obviously he was, very much against necromancy. And so to see like necromancy kind of lose its taboo later on, I think is kind of one of the reasons why the Mages Guild eventually fell apart in the late Third Era, or early Fourth. Because the Mages Guild no longer exists at the time of Skyrim. There were internal arguments, and also Tamriel's perspective on magic kind of took a nosedive after the Crisis, because obviously people are like, magic caused this garbage, and if you were a mage, you were looked on maybe with more suspicion. Oh god, was that my only... Of course it was. So the Mages Guild ends up being disbanded by the time of Elder Scrolls V, and instead there's only select few like magical groups, at least in terms of famous ones. You have the College of Winterhold, which obviously I think became more popular because it was an actual magic college and not just a group. And then you have the Synod, which I think is an imperial group. And then you have the something else. It was called like, there was a Whispers of something. I'm trying to remember. There's another group. Unless I'm misremembering that. But yeah, the centralization of like, oh, just join the Mages Guild, that just went away. And when it went away, everyone was just kind of like, what do we do to replace it, Actually, I've completed the lore book challenge, so... I'm really interested to see what Elder Scrolls Online does.
What do you need? Quickly now,
with
I haven't got all day.
the College of Winterhold. I'm trying not to think too much about it because I feel like if I do, I'm gonna get some form of disappointed. I should actually, you know what? I should, yeah, I'll take these. I think it's good. I mean, I don't know if I'll be like disappointed. It's like the College of Winterhold's really important to me. Like it's really intrinsic to like Clouds' lore. I'm trying to think, maybe like they might even just close it off. Like, what if you can't even go to the college for some reason? What if they lock it out like they locked out Castle Skingrad, at least at the beginning? You know, I'm trying to. I feel like it's such a core thing, though. Everyone knows College of Winterhold. I feel like they gotta have something to do with it. I just don't know like what they're going to do with it, and if they do anything with it. So much knowledge, hard to remember it all. It's so crazy hard to remember it all. There's so much going on, and I already have a bad memory. So, what I like, I think that we might see a college story surrounded upon the three individuals that are said to kind of like be in control of the college right now, but I don't know if that's like hard lore or if it's lore that speaks of a time previous to now. It's really hard to say. Let me see if I have. So here it is. This is called the. There's a couple Winterhold related things that you can wear. This is called the Anthor Shadow's crown. Crafted in Mount Anthor's Shadow, this bronze crown rested upon the head of the master of hidden arcane knowledge within Winterhold, Shadow. Some claim it never saw use outside secret meetings, but I doubt this crown's proclaimed status. This was written by a guy named Talion Mythmaker, so he could literally just be making shit up. But we have another thing written by Mythmaker who claims Dawn's Eye Crown. It's gold, along with its variant of the College of Winterhold's Eye, symbolize leadership over both mundane and arcane mysteries. In short, Dawn mastered both magic and people to uncover secrets, leading Shadow and Shroud. So Shadow, Shroud, and Dawn are like these three like people that seem to control the college. At least that's how this is written. We don't know if this was like some period prior to ESO, or if it was maybe even now, or if it happened at all. But I will point out that we just got a Tamriel tome which has the two wolves. I pointed these out earlier today. Check it out. These wolves are about dawn and dusk, right? So it has that idea of like dawn and shadow. These very well could just be Azura themed, but they're literally called Winterhold Empyrean, Dawn and Dusk. So I'm wondering if that has anything to do with like Dawn and Shadow, who run Winterhold, the College of Winterhold, and I don't know where Shroud comes in though. And I don't even know if they exist. I mean, like, so it could be that when we go to Winterhold, we don't hear about these characters at all. But I am still interested in them. I just don't know like what they would do with the college, because one, the college is kind of small. I'm gonna admit, it's a pretty small area. You've got a main atrium, you've got like a library, and you've got a room upstairs, and you've got like the barracks. That's pretty much it. So I'm assuming that like if ESO wants to do the college, it'll probably be larger, like kind of like Rift and Eyes, where maybe the areas are going to be bigger. So expect them to be expanded visually. I think the college should be bigger anyway. I feel like it would make more sense if it was larger than it is in Skyrim, because it's a college, right? It feels like it should be bigger. So I think that what ZOS should do is that they should add more to the college, right? But talk about how they might be reducing the college in size, right? So maybe have like some NPCs going like, yeah, we might be taking down this whole section because like it's not used as much or something. Because if you don't do that, then you imply that some of the college was lost in the Great Disaster, and I think that would be a really big deal. Because the whole thing about like the college surviving the disaster is that it's supposed to be really suspicious, and if you imply that bits of the college were actually affected, then it doesn't really seem suspicious anymore. So I feel like if they're going to expand the college, they should at least drop a little bit of lore explaining maybe why they reduce the size later on. But I do think maybe they should kind of make it a bit larger. I don't know. I do think Winterhold should be pretty big, though. Winterhold used to be the capital of Skyrim, and it used to be, it's said that it used to actually rival Solitude in how glorious it was. Is this my fault? Because I used his synergy. Did it expand to this guy? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I think this might be my fault. I don't know. I don't think he was intending to hit this guard. I'm gonna res him as soon as he goes down, okay? Okay. Because he's level 37. You know, he's just gonna Way Shrine probably, if he knows what's good for him. Yeah, he did. Okay. So, let me... Hold on. I've got some extra time because we're not doing Overwatch. I might stream on Tuesday. So, I might do it then. Actually, it's very likely I'll do it then. But I want to delve into some of this for you guys. Okay, so pay attention, class. This is Skyrim. I'm sure you've seen it before. So the area that I assume that we will be getting will very likely be like I'm gonna say everything you see on screen right here, right? It's kind of like, I'm not really sure, but I think that this might be it. I don't really expect it to be chapter sized, but I do think that the main areas are going to be Winterhold, which is going to take place, you know, here, and then Dawnstar, which is going to be like the Shimmerine, you know, the Gideon, the secondary city. I think it's going to fill out the space between, like, you know, Solitude and Winterhold, or in Eastmarch. We do have a bit of a map problem. It's debatable whether or not ZOS is going to fix the map or just make Winterhold further west. It's kind of an anxiety-inducing conversation. We're just gonna put that to the side and just look at Skyrim how it is and theorize. So Winterhold is located right here. This map is post-Great Disaster, or Calamity, whatever they call it. So Winterhold has been basically destroyed. Most of it's in the ocean. All that's really left is this. So I don't really... The question is, what do you think ZOS is going to do with this, right? Because it's... Was Winterhold like just a bunch of like wooden houses like on the coast that kind of just toppled into the water, or was it something more? Because we're seeing stone masonry, you can see here, so it looks like there were like stone walls and shit. Maybe that's like pieces of the bridge, I don't know. I feel like if Solitude is supposed to like rival Solitude, or if Winterhold is supposed to rival Solitude, then it should probably like have fortifications and walls and buildings and everything. It shouldn't just be some shacks, but it depends what they want to do. I mean, if you ask me, I think that what they should do is that ZOS should you know what? Hold on. Let me take a screenshot. I'm gonna actually put this screenshot into Sai, and we will 2 days in a row. Okay, so I would personally like it, and I'm getting my hopes up here, if... What color should we use? Let's use a red. It's probably going to be really visible. So, as you can see here, this is the College of Winterhold, and it's obviously very different from anything else you see in Skyrim, and that is, the reason for that is because obviously it's like made of these circles, right? The predominant shape is circles. You can see them everywhere. And that's basically because, you know, it's a magic school, right? Like Shalador is like the founding member, and it's obviously very intrinsically magical, and so it has kind of like these geometric shapes. I think that should be the theme of Winterhold in general. I think that would be pretty cool. Like, if Winterhold utilized the circular motif. So, as you can see in Skyrim, the college looks very different from the shacks on the outside. I feel like the rest of Winterhold should have the same aesthetic as the college, right? So imagine like just these circular towers and like atriums and all this stuff like around here. That would, like, imagine if it was like this shape. And you had like in buildings inside that carry the same sort of geometric designs to kind of like reflect how magical it is. I think that would be pretty cool. Obviously, you would have a very limited space to work on this because, you know, there's not that much space for it to fall into the water. But I don't know if there's supposed to be a river here. I guess there is, because why else would they build a bridge? But, I don't know. What if the city is like, the whole city is like some kind of bridge? Like, what if the whole city is just like over the water and it just shatters and falls? I don't know. But I just would like it to kind of like have the aesthetic of the college in terms of it being very geometrically focused. Because, I mean, Shalador made both of them, right? And so the reason for like all the shacks on the outside would be like, this was more like the area where like maybe the more poorer people would live. But the Jarl was out here, so it's like, I don't even know. It's very hard because I don't really even know. The good thing is that ESO takes place 1,000 years before, so you could literally just not have anything out here at all and let people theorize why the fuck there was someone the Jarl was out there at the time of the disaster. But I don't know. Cause the entrance is here, like to the college. I don't know. Like, what? Hold on. What do we know about like Winterhold, like in terms of before? Let me pull it up. Winterhold. Did you mean? Yes. Give it to me. Okay. Lore, Winterhold. Winterhold. We're gonna do the city and not the actual hold. Winterhold is one of the 9 major cities in the province of Skyrim, and it serves as the capital city of the eponymous hold, Winterhold. Winterhold served as capital of Skyrim numerous times throughout the First to Third eras, and has a rich, illustrious history. Even in its prime, it rivaled Solitude to the west. Found on the once larger Hroric's Head, the city had an impressive harbor and many large districts for most of its history. Okay, so already it definitely sounds bigger than that little area that we see. A harbor is interesting. Like, how would that really work? I guess maybe you could have like something that goes down to the water. I don't know. For most of the city was lost when an event known as the Great Collapse cast most of it into the Sea of Ghosts in 4th Era 1-2. The most well-known landmark in the city is the College of Winterhold, Skyrim's premier institute in the arcane arts. The Fortress of Ice, found somewhere to the south of the city, is also known as the Great Ice Fortress of Winterhold. the Ice Fortress of Winterhold is something that I'm really hoping that ESO does. ESO is primed to actually give us the Ice Fortress. ESO's done it ever since it came out, where it gives us like Elder Scrolls Arena locations, like Fang Lair, Selene's Web, all those areas, the Crypt of Hearts. So, like, I expect the Fortress of Ice to appear in ESO because it's kind of one of those things that they've been doing for over a decade now. I don't know if it's going to be a dungeon or a public dungeon, but I'd like one of those at least. So let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. History. Even though the Nords have lived on the region since they first embarked onto Tamriel, the story of Winterhold's origins have never been fully stated. One of the most well-known myths is that date back to the First Era and surround Archmage Shalador was that he built the city from a whispered spell. By the early First Era, Winterhold had already been an established city-state. Okay. I'm trying to, like, get information on its, like, geography to kind of help me out here. We got some arena lore here. Fortress of Ice. The Oblivion Crisis took a heavy toll on Winterhold and is implied to be the reason for it losing its status as capital. That's interesting. That just sucks. Like the Oblivion Crisis happens, Winterhold gets just like hit hard, and then, you know, 100 some years later, the calamity happens, and then it like falls into the ocean. It must suck to live in Winterhold. Hi Reaver, how you doing? Let's see. Okay, so this is just the Great Collapse. Let's see here. When the Red Year took place 5 years later, and many Dark Elves were displaced, the Jarl of Winterhold took in refugees, especially those that could contribute to the College of Winterhold, but some of those that already lived in the city left for Morrowind. In 4th Era 16, the High King of Skyr had relinquished the island of Solstheim to Morrowind, and there was an expectation by the Nords that the mages in Winterhold would leave for the island. But that never happened, and a lot of people were unhappy. The contempt for the Nords came to a climax with an event known as the Great Collapse in 4th Era 122. A series of violent storms and massive waves battered Skyrim's coast for a year and ultimately led to Winterhold's destruction, as a majority of the city collapsed and was swallowed into the sea. Many of its people were also lost to sea, even the family of Jarl Valdemar. Because the College of Winterhold was left unscathed, the Jarl's Council blamed them as the cause of the disaster. Rumors started to spread across the settlement, and then Archmage Deneth wrote personally to the Jarl to protest the accusation. Deneth claimed that the fact the college was intact was testament to the protective magic placed around it many years prior, and that they had no involvement in the city's outcome. The city's original seat of power was lost in the Great Collapse, and one of the old buildings was repurposed into the Jarl's Longhouse. Okay, so that does prove that the original location for the Jarl was in like the majority, like the core of the city. So what we're looking at on the left side was repurposed, and so that really helps ESO's case in being able to like maybe even establish like a big castle for maybe the Jarl's like seat of power. Okay, that's good. That's basically what I wanted to figure out. Okay, so basically that means that like the Jarl's place. I think this is it over here. That's just like their temporary seat of power, and like the actual Jarl seat was probably. I'm gonna assume that this is the area. Like it's probably like here, and then everything like fell into the ocean. So. I think that, I mean, they could have it like be pretty long, maybe go down this way. I think they have a lot of wiggle room. I'm also interested in seeing the fact that the Great Collapse was caused by storms, and Zos seems to be really leaning towards storms leading up to the Winterhold storyline. Do you guys think that's a coincidence or not? Because like, the Winterhold storyline, I'm assuming it's Winterhold, by the way. They haven't... I don't know if they've actually said. but everything leans towards Winterhold. The event that is going to occur prior to this is going to be about storms racking Skyrim, like incredibly powerful dynamic storms. We don't really know much about them, so I can't really make a theory, but it's really weird that like incredibly devastating storms is what preludes the Winterhold story, and Winterhold was famously destroyed 1,000 years later by a random super powerful storm. That seems really weird, doesn't it? I mean, I don't really expect ESO to explain the Great Collapse, because it definitely seems like one of those sacred things, like, oh, where'd the Dwemer go and whatnot. But I'm kind of interested to see if they at least like kind of feed our theory brains that we've had for about 15 years, right? Like maybe like cause us to think about the Great Collapse differently, and maybe about what maybe caused it. I think that could be pretty fun. I think there's a lot of potential here, and this is just Winterhold that we're talking about. There's a lot more. There's a lot more going on in this DLC. I assume we don't have a map, but if I had to guess, this area is probably going to be. Sorry, my scroll wheel's bad. This area is probably going to be like this whole area, like I said, leading over to Dawnstar. So there's a lot of things that we could experience in this DLC. Sarthal is one, because we can go to Sarthal. I think that they could have a very cool story around there. But you obviously will not be finding the Eye of Magnus, because that doesn't happen until the 4th era. But I doubt Sarthal is going to be off limits. I think that they could definitely like have some kind of story there. There's Dwemer Ruins. You got Aftan over here, for example. They could probably even add some more underground. Ice Fortress of Winterhold is probably going to be like around here somewhere. They got a Shrine to Azura that may or may not be there. It's up to them. I don't think they're gonna add Blackreach, but that could be pretty fun. I wouldn't say no to more Blackreach, but I don't know, because like you go to Blackreach in this area in Skyrim, so they would probably have to be pretty accurate to that. At least I think they do. Dawnstar, like I said, would be the secondary city. It would be a smaller one with like a smaller quest line. You have Ysgramor's Tomb, huge deal. This would be pretty cool to go to and have a storyline around. Sky Temple Ruins. I think there's a lot of potential. I really do. Now, this zone is not going to be a normal zone. They've described this zone as something called an excursion zone, and I have no idea what that means. It makes me a little bit fidgety. The term is a little bit nerve-wracking. Whereas I do like ESO doing things like I'm enjoying the night market and stuff, but I think that ESO should not lose the core that is a good old zone just to explore and do world bosses and quests and stuff. I feel like that's the core that a lot of people are beginning to miss. I posted, I think on Friday on Twitter, and I talked about how I miss opening an ESO map, and it kind of felt like ESO's new car smell. I described it, and a lot of people jumped on that post and said they agreed and they felt the same, and they were beginning to miss that feeling. And I think that I'd like to see if ZOS just tries to gimmickify everything, or if they just kind of go back to a basic zone for people, because I'm kind of nervous personally. I think that there's definitely a place for new ideas. Like the night market is a cool idea, and I think they've executed it pretty well, but I don't want them to like forget that people just enjoy going to a zone and doing a thing. I feel like if you gimmickify everything, it kind of gets a bit old, and people can get lost as well. If you gimmickify things, people can go, "Oh, I didn't know this is how it worked, and it's frustrating me." A smaller example is like the night market, where people went into the night market after being told every single stream and post that it was going to be hard and not for singular players, and they said, I can't do it by myself. What's up with that? You know, if you make everything into like a gimmick, then there's gonna be people who are like, I don't know what I'm doing, and they get turned off. So, a little bit worrisome. But I think I trust Zos to understand what works and what doesn't. I think that what we can expect is likely a zone that maybe has like a new mechanic, but not one that comes at the cost of what makes a good zone. Personally, I think that it might be something that maybe makes a zone better, but keeps the core of what makes a good exploration Elder Scrolls experience. I think that the night market obviously is it's a completely different thing. You really can't compare the night market to what's about to happen with Winterhold, because the night market is what's called an event zone. It's a temporary thing. It's basically an event, but also a zone, as the name implies. Whereas Winterhold is going to be a complete zone. So I don't think that we can look at the night market and go, oh, that's what we can expect from Winterhold. Zos knows that they're different things. I'm just curious as to what an excursion zone means, and like, will it like arcadeify the area, or will it enhance the experience? You know, because if it's something like, I'm just gonna say this off the top of my head, if Zos wants to make it like, maybe you're digging for artifacts or something like that, kind of like scrying, and it's like, they have you like try to collect as many artifacts as you can, for like a specific group. They kind of do a faction thingy again. That, I don't see them doing that, but that's kind of what I mean by like arcadeify, right? Like suddenly it becomes less about exploring and questing and more about like doing a singular goal. But I think that feels way more like an event zone thing than an actual zone thing. I think Zos completely understands what the difference is between an event and a zone and an event zone. So all we really have right now is we have like a 3-second clip of like a Nord character and his wolf pet overlooking a snowy environment, and I have perused this entire area both on map and in game, like in Skyrim, trying to find where that Nord was, and all I could really find was that it seemed to be close to Windward Ruins, looking this direction, with this to the south and the ocean to the north. That's kind of the only thing I could really grasp, and if that is true, that means that the zone will extend as far as Dawnstar, which does make sense because it would connect to the Western Skyrim zone exactly. I don't think that Zos wants to leave Dawnstar untouched unless they would like to kind of make it a small experience at some point in the future, maybe? I don't know. I'm very happy with what Zos did when it came to Western Skyrim. I think they did a very good job. Solitude is basically 1-to-1. I remember playing Skyrim after playing a lot of ESO, and I tried to get to the Way Shrine because my brain was in ESO mode, and I was like, oh shit, that's right, this is a different game. So that shows that they were really good at like putting together Solitude. And obviously Blackreach was just masterful. So I think that it was a really good expansion, and this will be their second Skyrim expansion. I'm sure that they have a lot of new developers, but I'm gonna try to have hope, because Nords Nords don't have the best track record in ESO. I know I'm not very critical. I'm not like a hypercritical like person. But if I had to complain about something for ESO, one of the things is that Nords kind of get simplified a lot. The approach for them is often just to kind of make them into dumbass drinkers, and you know it's fun to write a dumb barbarian character. I get it. It's fun to have them show up sometimes, but you can't have a race. You can't have a planet of hats with that. That's not how the Nords are. The way that the Western Skyrim, the way that Greymoor handled the Nords, I think was completely appropriate. I liked everything they did. I mean, like, I didn't feel like they were making them dumb. They didn't feel like they were like, you know, the magical or intelligent prowess of the high elves, but they felt like they had their own culture and values and strengths and weaknesses, and they didn't just make them seem dumb. And I thought that was really nice. I mean, they even have a drunkard character in the main story, and he's not even a Nord. He's an orc, and I just felt like it was a good decision. I want to see more of that. I'm pretty worried about it personally, because I'm not. ESO's been doing it consistently, and they haven't really stopped, kind of treating Nords that way. Aside from Western Skyrim, I mean, I liked Shore's stand on Solstice. I thought it was okay, but I don't like Rigert, and I don't like his sister. I'm sorry, I'm not a Rigert person. You know, I don't want him to die, but I just don't want him to be there. He's probably going to be there somewhere in this new DLC, but I don't like him very much, and I don't, and you know, obviously his sister wasn't much better. A lot of the short stand quest was pretty good. It's just like, why do we have to have dumb Nords? They're not the smartest people, no. Like, we know that. But they are a hardy people, and a tough people, and a stubborn people, and maybe they're, you know, not the most open-minded, but they're not like, they shouldn't all be comedy-ized. I feel like hopefully every time that Zos does like a Nord-centric thing, I think they recognize that, because maybe they notice and they start getting tired of writing Nords that way, and they're like, okay, well, let's lock in, you know? Nords don't really make sense in ESO. Well, I think I think it makes sense for a Nord to be dumb. I think it makes sense, right? They're very conservative in a lot of places, and hard-headed and stubborn, and that can make someone dumb. But it's not a catch-all rule, and I think like it makes sense. But like having like the entire, like, every Nord you meet be talking about drinking or hitting someone on the head with a hammer, it's like, come on, can we be serious for a moment, you know? I mean, ESO loves its zaniness. It really does. It likes making comedic characters a whole lot. That hasn't really ever stopped. But I'd like to see them do what they did with Western Skyrim and really lock in, you know? I mean, Winterhold is going to be smarter Nords, right? We're probably going to even see Junal worship or something. Maybe even like Julianos worship. Like maybe like a thing where they're embracing like more imperialized pantheons, because it's kind of starting to show in ESO's time. You're starting to see more imperialized religious perspectives, So maybe you'll see them talk about Julianos and Junal. I would love a Junal themed story, like some kind of like religious conflict. I would love that. That would be like 10 out of 10 prime content. But I see it more I see it being more straightforward than that. But like I said, there's a lot of cool areas to like put in delves and public dungeons and stuff. You know, like caves and ruins and all that stuff. I think that there's like an embarrassment of riches here, and I'm excited. I mean, they might even be able to add Mazincha left here, because I'm pretty sure, because like this is where Western Skyrim ends, is like right around here, I think. So yeah. I mean, this is what I'm just most interested in, the Winterhold stuff. Like, this is where this is my like hyperfixation, and it has been for about 6 months. You know, ever since they implied Winterhold during the reveal stream in early January, and then they confirmed it during the stream in April. At least they confirmed Skyrim, but. It definitely looks like Winterhold, and they did name drop Winterhold, and also the new tome references Winterhold, and it just feels like something's going on. Also, these storms were probably magical in nature, so that probably leans towards Winterhold. So I think Whiterun is going to happen another day. I don't see this going down to Whiterun. I think that's probably for the best. I think keeping Whiterun for a future DLC is a good idea for ESO. Like holding a DLC for the future would be nice. You know, it's like let's not play all our cards yet, because like there's a lot of places that ESO can go. Oh, there's a map for the Soul Cairn. Whoa, I actually never seen this. It's pretty cool. What else do we got? You know, Solstheim. Pretty neat. Temple of Marak. Solstheim is also open for ESO, but Solstheim has had 2 DLCs. So I don't know. I mean, I guess technically this upcoming DLC could be Solstheim, but I don't think so. Skuldothan. Here's the portal right here. Apocrypha. This is kind of weird because it's like I guess all the areas in Apocrypha, or is this? I think this is the boss actually. I think this is like, is this the Marak boss? No, no, I don't think it is, because like these are all the hallways and stuff. Yeah. My scroll wheel was bad. I'm sorry. I don't remember what Dayspring Canyon is, personally. Forgotten Vale, iconic. This is where I thought we were going this year, but I was wrong. Japheth's Folly. So hold on a second. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Okay, so, yeah, so in terms of, like, future ESO DLCs, I definitely see ESO having a lot of openings, especially if they're, like, if they slow themselves down and only release a DLC every other year, which kind of scares me, but that could very well be where it's going. I think ESO has a lot of options, like a decent amount. Maybe we'll finally get to see Hrothgar at the beginning of the Stormcloak Rebellion. Well, we're quite a ways away from the Stormcloak Rebellion. Everything that pretty much made the Stormcloak Rebellion, the inception of the inception of the inception hasn't really even happened yet. High Hrothgar would be a Whiterun DLC, and that's a maybe. I think that would be pretty fun to see High Hrothgar, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Because it's very exclusive, you know? Like, I can imagine that they probably would, if they were to take you up there, people would be like, I want to see party snacks, and, you know, I just don't know if they would go that far. Maybe? It definitely exists at this point in history, and the gray beards and all that stuff. Like, Winterhold, I see Winterhold basically being this, right? Like, this right here. From here to here, basically. And then, like, this second this central area would be, like, Whiterun. Would be, like, yeah, Whiterun's here. Oh, wow, it's even, like, got a thingy. So, I know that Falkreath has a dungeon, alright? So, this is where it gets interesting. Because I talked with my friend, Anya, about this, and I was discussing, like, well, can we really expand into Falkreath eventually? Because it has a dungeon, and how does that work? And she was basically saying, well, now that they've confirmed that we're moving forward in time, technically that dungeon takes place in, like, 582. And so technically they might just actually just have Falkreath post-dungeon, and then the dungeon would technically take place pre, like, 582, and then the DLC is 583 or something. It would be kind of weird, but I think maybe they could do that, because it's really the only thing preventing them from doing that area is the confusion of Falkreath. But I definitely see them doing, like, a Central Skyrim DLC in the future, and allowing you to go to, like, Riverwood, Riverwood and Whiterun and Falkreath, maybe. I think that would be pretty neat. But right now, you know, we're talking about Winterhold. Like, this could be like 5 or 7 years from now, assuming they keep going. Because, you know, like I said, there are other areas. Like, if Winterhold gets a DLC, then that's one whole DLC. Whiterun would get a different DLC. I see them doing, like, a Blacklight DLC. I see them doing maybe a Firewatch DLC that may or may not include the Telvanni Islands, or whatever they call these, the islands off the coast of the Telvanni Peninsula. These could be its own DLC by itself, right? Who knows? And then we have Solstheim could be a DLC. Central Elsewhere could be a DLC. I know it looks small. But we literally had an entire DLC. We had a year in this little spit of land. These 4 little spits of land. So I definitely think they could fit a DLC here without much problem. We could have a DLC here with Soul Rest. We have, obviously, maybe even 2 DLCs here in Blackmarsh, because you have Hellstrom and Arkan. Maybe Bravil is kind of up in the air. It's kind of weird over here, I'm just going to admit. Hammerfell is up in the air. If we like ignore the fact that they can't potentially touch Hammerfell, there's a lot of different areas that could be DLCs here. Not Forgotten Wastes, the Forgotten Vale, this could be a DLC as well. Toss in maybe a random island or 2 that Zoss makes up. Like, maybe a random island of Bretons up here that has castles and stuff. You could just kind of make that up. Maybe Kespar and Hern, which are 2 islands off the coast of Hammerfell. They would be right here. Probably, you can make that like a Redguard High Isle DLC, if you will. You know, and then toss in some random Realms of Oblivion as DLCs. I think that there's still a lot of potential in ESO for the future. I don't even really particularly think the reason for this development slowdown has anything to do with them running out of ideas or locations, because I think they still have a lot of potential. but the longevity that results from this new development format is a boon for them, I think. Because, like, if... I don't know how many DLCs I just mentioned, but if they do, like, one of those every 1 year or something, like, every other year, they'll be sitting pretty, you know? Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... I mean, already that's 11 if you do it every other year, right? I mean, that's... Yeah, going on 22. And I didn't even count Realms of Oblivion, because obviously we're going to be getting Shivering Isles at some point, right? I don't see them not doing Shivering Isles. I think that Shivering Isles is one of the very last nostalgia DLCs that they could do. But Shivering Isles is like an award-winning expansion, and I think it's perfectly suited for ESO in few different ways. So Shivering Isles, I would put money on it. It's got to happen at some point. And like I said, there's Zos could make up some random islands. It is a difficult thing to do, right? There's some obstacles you got to overcome. Like with Solstice, they're like, oh, no one went here because everyone thought it was cursed. Like, how many times can you really do that, you know, before you really start pushing the envelope? So it is kind of hard to do. In the case of Kespar and Hearn, which are two islands that are around here and here, those are already well established. They don't really have much lore about them, so they're established, like, in lore to exist, but we just don't have much static info about them. So I think they're blank canvases, and, like, Zos could do a lot with them. You also have the chain here. I would really like Zos to do, like, a Redguard High Isle. I think the Redguards deserve it. We haven't had a Redguard DLC since Hughes Bane. And, like, Redguard lore is so rich and fun that I've been really wanting one for a long time. I think Redguard lore is, like, up there with, like, Argonian and Khajiit for, like, my favorites. And then probably Dunmer after that. Now, this would be hard. This is Tyr, right? Tyr would be really hard for Zos to do, because Tyr is basically the head city of House Drez, and Drez is, literally the slaver house. And where it is true that the Ebonheart Pact prevents House Drez from taking Argonian slaves, they do take whatever slaves they can, right? So they still all are very much a slaver house. And it would be a very controversial DLC to make. So I kind of think that if you're gonna make a Tyr DLC, I feel like it would be cool to make it like a Dark Brotherhood thing. You know, because what I want to be doing is I want to be stabbing a bunch of slavers a lot. You know, I think it would be cool because, like, a lot of people balk at Dark Brotherhood because they're like, oh, I don't want to kill people, you know, I don't want to assassinate people. But, like, what about slave drivers? You know, like, that seems a little bit more appealing, doesn't it? Just, like, sneaking into, like, their headquarters and just stabbing them in the back. I think that could be pretty fun. So I feel like a Dark Brotherhood, or I know, like, it would probably make more sense to maybe do some kind of Morag Tong story, but I think that your best bet is to do a story about both the Brotherhood and the Morag Tong, maybe having, like, a shaky alliance, and they have to, like, they have to turn themselves against, like, this group of slavers. I don't really have a full idea, but I feel like it could be really fun to have, like, the interaction between the Tong and the Dark Brotherhood, which are basically siblings that hate each other, and, like, how they maybe have to kind of get along to, like, save their own skins against, like, House Drez and what Drez is trying to do. And I feel like that would be good for players because players would want to kill the slavers, and they would also get some juicy Morag Tong Dark Brotherhood lore, despite the fact that they like disagree with each other. Kind of like Cradle of Shadows, but you're teaming up, you know? I think that could be really juicy, and I think that would probably be the only way they could manage to do a tiered DLC. But it's kind of sketchy because it's like not everyone's gonna want to do that. So how do you advertise a DLC that way, right? For example, the latest Thieves Guild questline that's gonna be coming out, that's not related to any zone in particular except for Glenumbra, which already exists, right? So it's not like a questline that's tied to a zone like Gold Coast or Hughes Bane. I don't feel like that would sell anymore. I personally don't think Zos would be willing to like have a DLC come out and go, this is Dark Brotherhood, because I feel like maybe 75% of players would go, don't want to do that. And I know they don't have to sell it anymore because everything's free, but I just don't think that it would bring in the players they would want. Maybe we'll have to see. They specifically said during an interview that they chose not to do Dark Brotherhood for this year. They chose Thieves Guild instead because they said they felt safer picking a guild that was less violent. They said that if they chose Dark Brotherhood, they probably would have gotten less players interested. So that shows that they have confirmed that they know that Brotherhood is probably not going to be something that most people go for, despite the fact that it is pretty popular. It's just not your average players wanting like style of play. So doing a Dark Brotherhood storyline might be kind of out of the realm of possibility for right now. But I just think that it would be so freaking cool to have like the Brotherhood and the Morag Tong like begrudgingly have to be on each other's side, and like the dialogue would be so freaking good. Like imagine like Asher being there, and maybe like Naryu being there. It's so good. Imagine like, and you could bring in Drawls, right, from the Dark Brotherhood, and have them interact with each other. It just would be so fucking good. And so basically like the Morag Tong existed before the Dark Brotherhood, right? So the Morag Tong existed, and then the Morag Tong got blamed for a massive political assassination of the Potentate in like the early Second Era, right? And this caused all Cyrodiil to just go into a big freaking flurry, and a lot of the Seishi had to move south into elsewhere because of just the massive prejudice that they were facing, and there was a lot of evacuation. And that's why you'll find a lot of like Seishi stuff in elsewhere, like Hakoshe and all that stuff, because that's kind of what happened due to the fact that the Morag Tong performed that assassination. Though I think it's debatable whether or not they actually did it. But after that, the Morag Tong were very much demonized, kind of like the Jedi after Order 66. And the Tong basically just kind of, I think, restrained themselves to Morrowind for a significant amount of time. And the Dark Brotherhood kind of like sprang up from the shadows during the Morag Tong's absence, right? And then the Tong kind of got bigger again. And so now you have the Dark Brotherhood and the Tong kind of doing similar things, but with different belief values. Whereas the Tong are more like connected to the culture of Morrowind and Mythala and all that stuff. The Dark Brotherhood is specifically within this whole culture of Sithis and the Night Mother, and they have a whole new thing going on. So they don't exactly fully get along because they do have these differing perspectives. But I think that having them like interact, but also be the heroes, because they're also like against House Drez, which is like doing something. I haven't really figured out what it would be, but it would just be really cool because you'd just be killing slavers while also like on a really shaky alliance with this other group. So yeah, I think that'd be neat. I think that's probably the only way they would actually get away with doing a Dark Brotherhood DLC, because people would be like, oh yeah, no, I'm cool. I'll stab some slavers. I'll do that. That's fun. You know, I'll save some Khajiit. They're cool. So that'd be neat. That's the only way I see it happening. And then, like, Black Marsh. Black Marsh is a canvas of possibilities. It is just... There's so much I feel like that they could do here. I mean, I really just don't... I really just have no particular idea, because there's really nothing much to be said. I think that you could definitely get deeper into, like, Argonian religion, and maybe even have some Lilmathite, like, ruins and stuff, maybe. Like, have some areas where the Lilmathite, like, lived for a while, introduce a new type of architecture, and maybe, like, get a glimpse into these fox people. I have tossed around the idea of having a quest line, maybe even the main quest line, where you actually, like, meet some Lilmathite who survived the Nahatan flu, which is so recent, it's actually still in it's still active at the time of ESO. So it's pretty much accepted that they all died from it, but ESO could definitely just say, hey, here's some who survived. They could, like, put them in, like, a cave, or maybe even on this island where they, like, hid away. And so you can maybe, like, have quest lines that involve the Lilmathite, which, for those that don't know, are a race of, like, fox people, kind of like the Khajiit or Argonians, but they're foxes. However, I think Zos understands the fallout of doing so, whereas in lore terms, I feel like they could get away with it perfectly fine. But in terms of gameplay, everyone and their mother is going to be asking to be a Lilmathite, and that is a can of worms I don't think Zos wants to open. I think that they know that everyone's going to want to be a Lilmathite. Like, it's gonna go crazy. And I feel like a lot of ESO players don't even know what a Lilmathite is, and they want to keep it that way. But so it's really just there's so many pros, but there's just that one huge con that keeps them away from it. I feel like that's probably it. Now, they could, granted, give you a polymorph. I feel like that would be fine. I think that, you know, you got polymorphs for a Dremora or Factotums or whatever, and that's understood that you are a polymorph and not the actual race. You're just kind of like, you know, using illusion magic or something. I think that that's the closest we would get, is that maybe there would be some polymorphs. But that's the closest you'd get. And even then, like, we would be seeing like 75% of ESO players running around as Lilmathite, and I just don't know. It's a difficult issue. But I do at least want to see more Lilmathite related stuff, like ruins and whatnot, because they only recently died, and I think it would be awesome. I'm a big fan of them. And this is Soul Rest. This is where I thought Solstice might be related to Soul Rest, because they kind of sort of sound similar. Solstice, Soul Rest. I thought maybe this would be Solstice, this island here, and then like Solstice and Soul Rest would be like a DLC together. But I was wrong. It was way down here, but I got the area right. I knew that it was going to be off the coast of Black Marsh. Oh, wow. There's like a thing where it shows... Oh, cool. I didn't even know we had this. The Rising Wall. That's pretty interesting. You don't see that anywhere else. Let's go back. Obviously, like all these Realms of Oblivion, you have a lot of options. So, personally, I think that the race that is mostly missing out on content, as much as I want to say it's the Red Guards do have a DLC, and that's Hughes Bane. It's not about them, but it is in their area. The Bosmer have been, I was kicked, wasn't I? Yeah, I was kicked. Bosmer have, basically gotten nothing, you know? And I'm not like the biggest, I'm really bad with Bosmer lore, but, I'd like to learn more, and so the question is, how could we get a Bosmer DLC? So, this is a really tired idea, but I'm gonna present it to you. Falinesti, right? I feel like if anyone's thinking about a Bosmer DLC, it's gotta be Falinesti. So, Falinesti is this walking city. It's this huge tree that allegedly walks. I'm not sure if walk is literal or if it's not, but it does move around. And basically, there are places in Valenwood where it settles down for specific seasons, but it never stays somewhere forever. However, it is completely missing, and it's one of the main... You can encounter this story a lot in Valenwood, where it's like, the Falinesti's missing, we don't know where it went, and you can't really figure out where this entire city went, because it took people with it. Like, this entire city's gone, and people's like, you know, their families were there, and they just don't know where they are. It's one of ESO's biggest mysteries. There's even a group called the Falinesti Faithful that are just, like, dedicated to like, waiting and observing for the return of the city. So, I think that if you're going to make a Bosmer DLC, it's going to have to be about that. It's going to have to be about Falinesti. I think that it's very likely a Daedric prince took Falinesti, and so I believe that you could probably expect Falinesti to be located within a realm of Oblivion. It could be the Shivering Isles. I think that could be intriguing, but I would prefer if they wouldn't try to... If you put the Bosmer in the Shivering Isles, you're just going to overshadow the Bosmer. Everyone's going to be talking about Shio. So I would prefer if it's somewhere else. Like, maybe do the Spiral Skein or something? But, I mean, like... My mind just goes crazy thinking of, like, ideas on how that DLC would look. Because imagine the Spiral Skein, right? It's very dark, it's very gothic. You've got these huge red crystals and deep shadows and caves, right? But, like, in the middle of the zone, like freaking Elden Ring, there's this huge tree, like massive, and it's like rooted because like it's like, I would assume that it's probably stuck, and it's just like stuck in a location. So like everything is like dark and gothic and depressing, but like in the middle is this like oasis of nature, and it's so big on the inside that you can like explore like entire places in the city, and maybe there's like delves and public dungeons like within the branches of the tree because it's just that big. And so like the DLC would be like half shadow and like half like bright nature. I think that would be pretty cool. It would be pretty neat in the advertising, and very noticeable. So I think that would be a cool idea. I've had that for a while. I've also kind of messed with the idea of like doing it like a Colored Rooms Battlespire DLC. Obviously Battlespire is like my white whale of ESO. I'm just waiting for them to do Battlespire in some way. I think that they will eventually, but it's just hard to say. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't want them to make it into a dungeon or a trial, but they probably will. They're probably going to make it into some kind of... They're doing all kinds of gimmicks now, so they're probably going to make it into like an event zone or something. But I guess it's something. I'll take it, I guess. But I think it'd be cool to like pair something like the Battle Spire with the colored rooms. Maybe you're like in the colored rooms and you can look up and see like the spire in the realm or something. I think that'd be awesome. So if anyone's been playing like World of Warcraft recently, I haven't done the new DLC in WoW. I don't really play WoW, but I watch a lot of it. I play sometimes, but like this latest expansion, Midnight, has like this like huge like void like black hole in the center of like right above the city, and like anywhere you are in the zone, you can like look over at the city and you can just see this like crazy looking void black hole, and it's just like, it's awesome. It's like iconic and visually stunning, and it sets the tone for the DLC. That's what I want to see more of in ESO, and I think they did a decent job with the Writhing Wall. The Writhing Wall was kind of like that as well. But I feel like doing it with Falinesti would be really neat, where you just look in the center and you just see this big tree, like that just betrays its surroundings, but with how different it looks. But you also kind of need to. It would be like, okay, well, if the quest line is about returning the city, then like the city would literally have to move at the end of the storyline. So you would have to come up with some reason as to why it hasn't left yet. So it's kind of iffy, right? When asked about Falinesti back in like probably 2018 or something, one of the developers said something about there's some stuff that they're not allowed to touch. I'm not sure why Falinesti would be under that umbrella, but it sounds like Bethesda like put a lock on it or something, and they were like, nah, you can't do anything with it. Which is very curious, because it's like, why not? Because here's the deal: Falinesti comes back. Like, everyone knows that Falinesti comes back. No one knows how it comes back, but it comes back, and then I believe it gets rooted at some point. But it does return. We just don't know how. ESO just didn't include it, probably because it would be way too much to include in the base game, because you already had Elden Root, right, which is massive. For Elden Root is a Grotwood that's, you know, it's like Falinesti, though I assume that if they did Falinesti, they probably would make it even larger, because, you know, that would be cooler. But yeah, so I mean, I think it'd be awesome. I think that it would like be a great way to expand on Bosmer lore, because it doesn't really get a lot of focus. It would be a great way to maybe expand on the concept of green sap, because I can't seem to fully understand what it is about green sap. So I maybe the Bosmer would be overshadowed by the idea of like the Spiral Skein and Mephala and stuff, but I don't feel like it would be as bad as Sheogorath. Like if Falinesti was like dropped into the Shivering Isles, I feel like nobody would be talking about the Bosmer. Everyone would be looking at Shio. I don't feel like Mephala has that kind of pull to her. Obviously, people like her, but she's not like Shio. They did Bosmer stuff in Westweald. I'm not going to act like they didn't, right? I mean, we got this whole area here. We got Vashabar. We got the Dawnwood and everything. I just don't know, because like, they made the Bosmer the bad guys. Does anyone else kind of feel me here? You know, the Recollection were the bad guys. I mean, not like Vashabar is not made of bad Bosmer, right? The Bosmer that you're going to find in Vashabar are generally good-hearted. Even if a Bosmer even like observes the Dawnway, it doesn't make them a bad person, really. They're not all Recollection, so I'm not saying that they're all bad, but I feel like Bosmer fans probably deserve a little bit more than this, because it was also like, I mean, these Bosmer were obsessed with the Aelids too, and it's like, okay, well, I want to learn about the Bosmer, right? I don't want to learn about, well, I mean, like, the Aelids are always cool to learn about, but I want to have a DLC where I focus on the Bosmer, the Green Pact, Ifray, the Spinners. There are some. I haven't done the Vashabar quests though, so I do need to do that. But yeah, so that's... I feel like if they want to do a Bosmer thing, Falinesti is pretty much the only way to go, unless they want to make like another island off the coast of Valenwood, which they might end up doing. Which, you know, would be something. It would be something at least. Put the tree on the island. I don't know. I feel like a Daedric Prince probably took it though. They did a pretty good job with High Isle and everything. I could tell they took it very seriously. I was very impressed with how they just released like a several part book series, kind of just explaining High Isle's history. And now whenever I like read about history, I kind of like, it kind of feels like it was always there, you know? So I think like if you're gonna do like oh, there was an island here kind of a DLC, do it the way they did it on High Isle, and they did a decent job with Solstice too. So if they want to do stuff with islands, they at least have some experience in that manner. It's weird that Greyholm is like on the map like that. I mean, you go there like once or twice. I don't know. I mean, I guess Norgzel is there, so you just kind of feel. I guess it's not a quest location exactly. I don't know. In terms of like an Altmer DLC, I feel like Altmer fans are pretty satisfied for a while. I don't think that we're gonna have an Altmer related content for a long time, because Solstice covered Altmer and Argonian stuff for probably the foreseeable future. I don't see any of that happening next 5 years or something. They have planned out the next 5 years, by the way. They said specifically. So Orcs I think would probably get something in the Forgotten Vale if they want to like expand out into the Druidoc. So Orcs have potential, so that would be like up here. So I feel like if they did something here, you would expect Orcish content and also Snow Elf Falmer content, because I did some research and I think that ESO could do Snow Elf content without, you know, too much issue. In fact, I think that ESO could even make them better. So like flesh out their lore. It's interesting how Jahanna is located right here. So, and obviously with Khajiit, like I said, Khajiit have this central area. I guess they could call it Tenmar. I mean, that's kind of the name that we've slapped on here, because that's like the region. So Khajiit fans should rejoice, because there is an opportunity for another Khajiit DLC. I don't really know how big it would be, but I think that they could definitely make it pretty dang large. If Zos wants to go like the half and half thing again, I think this would be the best zone to do it in, because it would be really easy to split this zone in half. But I don't see them doing a Writhing Wall event style mistake. Especially since Content Pass is no longer a thing. I would see them doing something different, but I do see them like maybe putting it in half and then making that like part of the lore. So here you could experience, like, you could expect Alabaster and Corinth, and there's another city. What am I forgetting? Corinth, Alabaster, and something else. It's on the tip of my tongue. Blah, 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 blah. I have a map. I just don't want to look at it yet. I feel like I'm being dumb. There's like, it's like a religious hub. It's like a religious hub for the Khajiit. I don't think it's either. I don't think it's Corinth. I don't think it's Alabaster. It's something else. What is it? It's not Tenmar. Damn it. I know where it is. It's located like right here. I just don't remember what it's called. I don't think it's either of those. I could be wrong. Let me look. I'm gonna look. Torval. That's it. God. Torval. So Torval is located like right here. I feel like it might be the main city if it happens. I think the name might come from Topal the pilot, because sometimes he's called Torval the pilot, but that could just be a coincidence. There's a lot of good stuff that could happen here. I mean, you've got three cities. Pick and choose which one's going to be the main one, which one's going to be the side city. A lot of opportunities for good Khajiit lore here. And you could also connect the two zones, Northern and Southern Elsewhere, with a road through the area, and this zone would also be free. So that would help everyone out. So that would be pretty cool. Let's see. Imperials, we could get Bravo. It's pretty hard to say. Because like you can see Bravo from the Cyrodiil map, and it's located like down the river. So it's like right here. So I guess we could get it. It's not that spectacular of a city, but like a little. It's a little wooden town. It'd be nice to have. I don't really know what like all would be around there because I'm not super familiar with the area, but it could be another Imperial related DLC in the future, some kind of little expansion, but it would be probably pretty small because they would be constrained by what Oblivion said. Like, you know, with Central Elsewhere, I think they'd be more free to do stuff, but I don't know about this. They would probably be more constrained by the map that Oblivion put out. I mean, I'm really confused about this whole area here because I'll need to compare this to like the actual map because I know there's probably a lot of differences, but in terms of main cities, Braville's really the only one we're missing here. Again, I don't think much needs to be said about the Redguard opportunities because there's so much that could be done, but it's probably not worth discussing because it's probably going to be Elder Scrolls 6. But you've got a lot of cities. You've got so much potential. Hegath, Taneth, Rehad, which is right here. Ghislaine, right here. I'm having to look at my map, though, because, again, there's just so many opportunities. Skaven, also. Verkarth, as well, which would be pretty cool. Like, delve into more Grey Host lore. That'd be awesome. There's just so much opportunities with Hammerfell. So many different like environments and stuff. So, but yeah, it's kind of probably a badly kept secret. It's kind of funny how ESO is kind of presented as a piece of evidence that we're gonna see a Hammerfell in Elder Scrolls 6. It's not the only evidence, but people consider it to be a good piece of backing evidence. So that's it for Redguards, unless they want to do, like I said, Hearn and Caspar. And we've talked about Blacklight. I mean, there's like I said, Dunmer are sitting pretty, because you've got a lot of options here. Personally, they could very well, like, this is a problem. Like, Eastmarch is a problem. Every map fan knows that Eastmarch is a big-ass problem. It's such a big problem. I hate Eastmarch. So, basically, the big problem with Eastmarch is Skuldafn, right? So, everything about Eastmarch is okay, it's fine, aside from the fact that it's too far north, and the ocean shouldn't be here. I don't know what this is. Anyway, so Skuldafn, this right here, this should have been an instance. This should not have been a Wayshrined area. Like, this should have been a one-time instance in the main quest, but instead, ZOS decided to make it a an actual instanced area in the zone, despite the fact that like probably no one really comes here. And I know it's got lore books, but like they didn't have to put these here, right? So like I'm pretty sure in Elder Scrolls 5 in Skyrim, this is an instanced area. Like this is an area that doesn't exist until you like actually take like a teleport there or whatever. So this should have been like a instanced zone story place, because the fact that it has to protrude off of the zone means that it bleeds into Morrowind right here. Because this should be where Blacklight is, and so that's kind of space that should be taken by Morrowind. So assuming maybe they fix this when they do Winterhold, but I doubt they will. I really doubt they will, but I hope they do, because if they don't get it fixed now, it's going to be really bad if they try to do Blacklight. I like this. I think this area here could potentially be a zone at some point. I know it looks small, but like I said, they can make it bigger. Blacklight, we don't really know much about it. I think it's like the capital of House Redoran, and they could definitely expand on the lore and kind of like give it the Necron treatment. I think it would be really awesome. I think it'd be a nice little area, a nice little Morrowind experience to give people. Then we also have, I guess they're calling this the Northern Badlands for some reason. They could give us this. I don't really know what happens here, but like a lot of Telvanni influence. Firewatch is a city that would be right here. And then there's these islands off the coast. Port Telvannis is here, so it's a whole Telvanni city. A lot of Telvanni influence on these islands. I don't really know if these would be the same DLC, if they would be two separate ones. I kind of would prefer if they split them to give Morrowind more time. We already talked about Tyr though, so we kind of went full circle. I don't think I left anyone out. I mean, I didn't mention the Bretons, because Bretons are kind of in a rough place, because there's really nothing else you can do. I mean, they did get the sisters, and the sisters were pretty good at like displaying the Druids of Galen and whatnot. It's like, I think they were kind of lucky to get the sisters, because what else are they gonna get? I mean, the Thieves Guild questline that's going to be coming out later this year is going to be in Glenumbra. So Glenumbra is actually going to be getting a little bit of a polish. They're going to be polishing this zone a bit and making things look better. I think adding a bit more clutter to kind of make things look more realistic. And so I'm guessing, judging by what I understand, the story of the Thieves Guild is probably going to kind of surround upon Sage Vornay, who was a very famous and powerful Breton sage, and I'm eager to see how they expand on his lore. So it's going to be like very Breton focused. I really hope it leans into Durrani stuff, and I think it might, but we're going to have to see. So I think Bretons are kind of getting a focus right now, or at least later this year, and I really look forward to seeing what they do with Glenumbra. Maybe it won't really be noticeable, I don't know. But I like the zone in general. It's your classic medieval adventure kind of area, and I like seeing it get love. And Thieves Guild is pretty fun, so that'll be later on this year. I think that's everything. I did Dunmer, Argonian, Imperial Khajiit, Altmer, Breton, Redguard, Nord, Orcs. I forgot which ones I mentioned. Did I miss anything? I forgot anything. I forgot what I mentioned and what I didn't. And also, obviously, Realms of Oblivion. Those could be good expansions. Just kind of toss in some Realm of Oblivion, like colored rooms. Boom, that'd be awesome. The thing about Realms of Oblivion though is that you need to have a main city, and that's kind of where things get hard, right? So it's difficult because it's like if you do the colored rooms, it's like okay, well now you have to have some kind of main city for the colored rooms that a bunch of mortals are hanging out in, and it's kind of hard to excuse. They weren't really able to do that with the Deadlands, and that might have been why they invented Fargrave, but I can't really tell. So that is a little hitch when it comes to making an Oblivion Zone, and that's why when there is an Oblivion Zone that I theorize, I think that it would be best if you were to do like, oh, Battlespire and Colored Rooms, or Falinesti and the Spiral Skein. That way you get to have your main mortal city and also the Realm of Oblivion that corresponds with it, right? Kind of like Artaeum and Somerset, sort of. I think that would be cool. Sorry, blah blah blah. Let me see here. Stormcloak Rebellion won't happen until the 4th era. Later starts with Ulfric when he was working as an agent on Ray Dominion, the bad one. I mean, hold on. Can we slow it down a second? Just a second. I mean, I know that Ulfric Stormcloak was utilized by the Thalmor, but I don't think he ever worked with them willingly to stir up trouble. I mean, like, even I was confused, so I looked it up here, and it claims that he was captured and assigned as an asset to an interrogator, and he eventually broke under interrogation, was led to believe that the information he revealed was crucial in the capture of the Imperial City, so he thought that he was the reason why the city fell, although the city had in fact fallen before he broke. After the Thalmor finished interrogating him, they allowed him to escape, to use him as an asset. No, I'm just saying. I think he was unwillingly used as an asset, which happens all the time in politics. I mean, like, Ulfric, basically, like, all the time in politics, whenever you have, like, an unstable, like, easy to understand, passionate individual, you can use them any way that you want. So when you encounter someone like that, if you let them go free, then you can manipulate them easy as fuck to do what you want. So he wasn't, because the thing is, so Ulfric would not work with the Thalmor willingly. He hates them a lot. That's why I was confused. But so basically it's like they allowed him to escape to use him as an asset. So he initially, I guess, thought that he revealed information that actually was the reason why the Imperial City fell. He actually fought during the Battle of the Red Ring, and then basically they just let him go and do his own thing. The thing about Ulfric, though, is that, like I said, Ulfric was being used by the Thalmor, like, so he was, I guess, like I said, if you fully understand someone's motives, like, if someone's so tunnel visioned on something, then you can kind of use them, and, so let's read a little bit further. Actually, hold on, give me a second. So let's see here. After the Battle of the Red Ring, the Empire and the Dominion signed the White Gold Concordat ending the Great War. The White Gold Concordat banned the worship of Talos, which proved extremely controversial among the Nords. And then this is the famous Markarth incident. After the Great War, Ulfric returned to Skyrim and formed a Nord militia that would later be the basis for the Stormcloaks. So this is the inception of the Stormcloaks, obviously, very much after. According to Ulfric's Thalmor dossier, after the war, the Thalmor established contact with him, and he proved his worth as an asset. Okay, so I don't even know if that's fully true, though, because this is probably what you're talking about, though. So we're going to go into this. So let's see. It's had its uncooperative, dormant emissary level approval. Jarl of Windhelm, leader of the Stormcloak Rebellion, Imperial Legion veteran. Ulfric first came to our attention, First War Empire, taken prisoner of war, under interrogation. We learned of his potential value, was signed as an asset to the interrogator. This is kind of what we covered before. He was made to believe that information obtained, city had in fact fallen before he escaped, or before he had broken. After the war, contact was established, proved his worth as an asset. The so-called Markarth incident was particularly valuable from the point of view of our strategic goals, although it resulted in Ulfric becoming generally uncooperative to direct contact. Operational notes. Direct contact remains a possibility under extreme circumstances, but in general the asset should be considered dormant. As long as the Civil War proceeds in its current indecisive fashion, we should remain hands-off. The incident at Helgen is an example where an exception had to be made. Obviously, Ulfric's death would have dramatically increased the chance of an Imperial victory, and thus harmed our overall position in Skyrim. Note, the coincidental intervention of the dragon at Helgen is still under scrutiny. We had nothing to do with that. The obvious conclusion is that whoever's behind the dragons also has an interest in the continuation of the war. Ha! But we should not assume, therefore, that their goals align with our own. A Stormcloak victory is also to be avoided, however, so even indirect aid to the Stormcloaks must be carefully managed. So, I mean, like, it's some okay. So here they're claiming that after the war, contact was established and he proved his worth as an asset. And I'm assuming the way that they're saying, okay, he has proven his worth because of the Markarth incident. But it resulted in Ulfric becoming generally uncooperative to direct contact. So it's like we're not talking to him anymore. He's not talking to us anymore. Let's go back over the Markarth incident really quick. The Markarth incident. After the Great War, Ulfric returned to Skyrim and formed a Nord militia that would later form the basis for the Stormcloaks. We talked about this. In 4th Era 174, the Reachmen, led by Madanach, took advantage of the Imperial Legion's preoccupation with the Great War to overthrow Hrolfdir, Jarl of Markarth, and declare the Reach to be an independent kingdom. By 4th Era 176, Hrolfdir was desperate to retake the Reach, and so he turned to Ulfric and his Nord militia and promised them that he would permit the free worship of Talos and Markarth in exchange for their help retaking the hold. In a short and bloody war, Ulfric and the militia laid siege to Markarth, where it is said that he used the Thu'um to shout rebels from the walls. When Ulfric and his forces reached the city gates, they drove the Reachmen rebels from the city. The surviving Reachmen fled into the hills and continued to fight the Empire in the Forsworn Rebellion. In his book, The Bear of Markarth, Imperial scholar Arrhenius Arius alleges that after taking the city, Ulfric had every official who worked for the rebels executed. Ulfric's men allegedly tortured native women to learn the names of the rebel fighters who fled the city, or were in the hills of the Reach. Finally, he alleges that both Reachmen and Nords were executed if they did not fight with Ulfric and his men when they breached the gates. After Ulfric and his militia took Markarth, Ulfdir allowed free worship of Talos in the city. When the Empire sent troops to establish order, Ulfric denied them entry into Markarth unless they also agreed to permit the free worship of Talos in the city, which they ultimately consented to. However, the Thalmor soon found out about the promise of legal Talos worship and demanded the arrest of Ulfric and his men for violating the terms of the White Gold Concordat or risk possibility of another war with the Aldmeri Dominion. Faced with possibility of a second war with the Dominion, the Imperial Legion and Hrolfdir were forced to arrest and imprison Ulfric and much of the militia in an event called the Markarth Incident. Some regard the Markarth Incident as a catalyst of the Stormcloak Rebellion. Following the Markarth Incident, Emperor Titus II had no choice but to suppress Talos worship by allowing the Thalmor Justiciars to enforce the terms of the treaty. He made it better for the Thalmor because now they're given extra power, right? So the thing is, though, it's like I don't particularly understand, because everything that's being said here is very much not in the Thalmor's interest, except for what happened like afterward, right? Like none of this benefited Ulfric, so why would he be knowingly contacting the Dominion? Like none of this benefited him at all. In fact, it just made everything worse. Like literally, Ulfric stands for everything the Dominion hates. So why would he be willingly contacting them at all? I don't understand what contact even means. Like, it's like after the war, contact was established, and he has proven his worth as an asset. So, I mean, like, what? The only thing I could take from that is like, what he did this on purpose, but nothing else he does seems to reflect that. Because I mean, like, yeah, the so-called Markarth incident was good for them, but Ulfric did not like what happened after the incident. Yes, he's definitely not a good person no matter what, but like, the thing is, though, that confuses me is that after the war, contact was established, so it's like, but the thing is, though, is that this doesn't necessarily mean that he was entirely cooperative. It just means that they reached out to him at some point, and then the Markarth incident proved his worth, because he is an asset. They allowed him to escape, which marks him as an asset. And he did prove his worth as the asset. I don't understand what contact is established meant, because it almost seems like he's like some secret agent, but nothing he does is evident for that. It just kind of seems like he's used, because, like I said, because he's so singular-minded, the Thalmor know exactly what to do to make him do what they want. I mean, like, it even claims he's an uncooperative asset, but then they also say it resulted in him being uncooperative, implying that he wasn't before. I don't know. It's weird, because it really depends on what they define as an asset, right? Like, they let him free. He literally played a part in beating the Thalmor into a stalemate. The Thalmor basically came out on top, and then Ulfric's pissed off about it. Ulfric hates the Thalmor more than anything. It just, I don't understand what this means here. Like, what was the contact? Is there anything else, like, in the game that is there like a paper that you can read where they're like reaching out to him and he's like, "Fuck you guys"? I don't know, because technically, you can. This basically can mean that they sent him an email and he like gets the email and he's like, "Fuck you guys." And then he ends up proving his worth as an asset with the Markarth incident. It doesn't necessarily say that he wanted to talk to them. It's just that they reached out. I don't know. It's weird. Elder Scrolls 6 will probably fight the Thalmor anyway. I don't know. I feel like the Thalmor, I mean, maybe I just kind of feel like Bethesda knows that we've been fighting the Thalmor for 15 years and we're kind of done, you know? I don't know. I mean, like I don't. There's never been an Elder Scrolls game where you're like still fighting the same people. You know, we weren't still fighting the Mythic Dawn in Skyrim. So I mean, technically, I guess you were, depending on what you were doing, but... So yeah, I mean, I find this is all just really fascinating. It is very interesting. I basically just kind of chalk this down to Ulfric basically being a pawn in the Thalmor's game. Like, the Thalmor just kind of, like, move him around, and he does what they want, and they're keeping tabs on what he's doing. But the Thalmor contact is interesting, because he never talks about how they're reaching out to him, I don't think. Does he ever mention, the Thalmor are trying to talk to me, and I'm telling them to fuck off? I don't know. Because everything about Ulfric's entire, like, idea of living is that, he hates how the war came out. He knows what happened during the war. The Great War was so traumatic to him, and he saw so many friends die, that the idea that at the end of everything, despite like the incredible victory of the Battle of the Red Ring, at the end of everything, the Empire just signed away everything that the Elmeri Dominion asked for at the very beginning, basically meaning that it was all for freaking nothing. And obviously, you know, that included the banning of Talos worship, even though it wasn't like as enforced as it used to be, or rather as enforced as it will be. So Ulfric, like, he hated the Empire because he basically was like, I hate you because you gave in to the bullies. And obviously by extension he hates the Thalmor because they gave in to the Thalmor. And he hated them at the beginning. I mean, they're the Thalmor, the High Elves, they were killing his friends. They were killing everybody. He's two-faced, but saying one thing while hiding that his origin is the opposite? I just don't know, because, like, what's the benefit? What's the benefit? Like, what's the reasoning? Like, why would he want what the Thalmor want, you know? It's like, well, unless it's like, oh, we're promising you riches, I guess, but he's already like, you know, killed the High King, and he's like, I want to be the big guy. Everything that he does doesn't seem to say that he likes the Thalmor at all. I just can't find the other face. I can only see one face. Talos, the little god who found the Empire, to silly fuck about this and leaves his people to suffer. It's kind of what divines do. I mean, a lot of the time. Wasn't there's this, isn't there like this person in Shadenhall in Oblivion who like hates the gods? I forgot who it was. Her name is like something god hater. She's like, I hate the gods. I forget where that is. But yeah, I mean, like, Ulfric is a definite Talos, you know, he's obsessed with Talos, and I think more than that, he's obsessed with like Nordic, you know, freedom and, you know, not being told what to do. He's a heavy nationalist. Obviously, he's a racist for that reason too. Doesn't like Dunmer. He hates the Argonians. You know, he's definitely a very radical nationalist. He's very easy to manipulate. He's also a narcissist. This is pretty sad though, but he's had a rough life, sure, but he's just not a great person. I mean, like, he literally he like engaged in a duel with the High King, but he didn't tell everyone that he had an ultra laser that he utilized during the he didn't tell everyone that he had superpowers. I guess they might have known, because reports say that he used it during Markarth, but I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if people knew that he had the voice, but even if they did, I think that they probably just expected him not to use that in combat, because it's like you're doing a 1v1 versus someone that doesn't have the voice, you know, and he basically just like executed him on the spot with it, you know. Windcaller is rolling in his grave, watching. He's watching Ulfric from Sovngarde and just weeping. This is what Ulfric Stormcloak looks like in castles. Okay, if you say so. Let's see. Blah blah blah. Let's see. Accounts of the duel differ, with Ulfric claiming that he shouted Torg to the ground and stabbed him to the heart with his sword, killing him. Other accounts claim that Ulfric literally shouted Torg apart. Well, either way, he used the shout. We all know that he used the shout. So, did you guys know that High Hrothgar was founded by Jurgen Windcaller, who literally he created the Greybeards because he wanted to move away from the Nordic obsession with using the voice as a weapon, and instead using it like respectfully as like a power of the gods instead of like in ways of war. I think he believed that they were actually punished by the gods for utilizing it in a violent fashion. And then there's Ulfric, who literally just goes and does that exact thing, and he was trained by the Greybeards, I believe. So use the shout, but which shout? They never told us. That's true, but considering that Ulfric says that he shouted him to the ground, and the guards say that he shouted him apart, I would assume it was probably Unrelenting Force. I mean, it's the most iconic, so maybe it's a basic answer, but it sounds like he basically force pushed him during the battle in some way. Must have been a sight to see. Like, people must have been like imagine people just like, imagine it might sound like a gunshot, you know, like people just like leaning against walls, holding their chests, as suddenly just like boom, this boom goes off, and like suddenly your king is dead. He's gone, you know. That must have been crazy. Obviously it was viewed by an assassination. Let's see here. Ulfric believed that killing Torg would send a message to the other Jarls. This guy's a fucking scumbag. This guy sucks, you know? Like, Ulfric just sucks. I don't trust anyone that goes Stormcloak. Yeah, Ulfric claims that he used his sword and stabbed him in the heart. I think Ulfric has a reason to tell the truth about what he did, whereas the rumors that you hear about him shouting the king apart, that's like a secondhand opinion. I feel like Ulfric is probably telling the truth, because Ulfric, we all know he killed him with a shout, and Ulfric has literally no qualms about telling us exactly what happened. So he probably did do that. He claims that he shouted him to the ground and then used his sword. The reason why you'll never join the Stormcloak Rebellion. It just really sucks. But here's the thing, is that I actually believe that Skyrim's writing is better than people say, because whereas it seems like the Stormcloaks are just like a bunch of Nords that are never going to get their way, the writers specifically wrote the Red Guards as being an army that actually did oppose the Thalmor and did win. So the Red Guards are kind of like an example that the Thalmor could be beaten by an uprising if like a culture uprised against them. So I think that they don't really talk about it, but I think that might have been a big inspiration for the Stormcloaks. They see that the god bleeds, and like it really gives them something to fight for, even though they do feel like they could never win against like the Empire and Thalmor at the same time. Even though the Red Guards were just fighting the Thalmor and not Imperial forces. But I think that it was pretty interesting for the writers to add something in there to be like, hey, these people did it, so it kind of gives the implication that the Stormcloaks might be able to do it.
Trust in me, wife.
And then the Heimskr.
Trust in Heimskr, for I am the chosen of Talos. I alone have been anointed by the Ninth to
spread
his holy word.
Skyrim was my first game. I'm a Sky baby. I'm actually kind of a Sky baby because I actually started playing soon. Actually, like years after Skyrim came out. So I played every now and then after Skyrim came out because my brother got it for like his birthday or Christmas or something. And I played it, and I did join the Stormcloaks because I liked the name. I thought Storm sounded cool, but I had no idea what they were about. I was very naive. And so I played it off and on, but I didn't really dedicate myself to it. And then I, put it away, and I picked it back up seriously probably in like 2016. And that's when I really got into the Elder Scrolls, was when I picked it back up. So I'm, it was like it's been maybe 10 years, I guess, of being a fan. So I'm pretty, I'm not like, I didn't play Skyrim as much as a lot of people though. Like, I still have a lot to do in Skyrim that I've never, ever done, and a lot of stuff maybe to read, and quest lines, NPCs in, these games I'm not super well versed, I'm more of like a basic history kind of a person, and like for a lot of people will remember like quest lines in like Oblivion and stuff, and they'll be surprised as to like why don't you know that? It's because it's like I just don't play. I haven't played as much as you because I've only played Elder Scrolls basically for a decade, so I haven't had all the experiences that people have had. They've played Skyrim probably like 15 times over. It's like, not me. I spend more time reading than I do playing anyway. But yeah, I do enjoy playing Skyrim. I like after playing like Morrowind, Oblivion, and a lot of Daggerfall, a bit of Arena. After like playing these and I go back to Skyrim, I can definitely see where Skyrim is like a lot more simplified and a lot more fetch questy. But I also believe that there's some pretty good writing. The Civil War conflict, I think, is pretty well made. I think that a testament to how good Skyrim's writing is that a lot of people can't even agree as to what side is better when it comes to the Civil War storyline. People are still arguing about it to this day. I see people still saying, Stormcloaks because, the Empire has succumbed to the Thalmor and they need to be taken over. And, I see people still arguing about it 15 years later. And I'm like, if they're still debating it 15 years later, I think that's some decent writing. You think that Ambient Castle theme Dragon's Reach was originally made for the Stormcloaks? I don't know what that is. Is there a track called Dragon's Reach? And what do you mean by it was made for the Stormcloaks? Like, you think it would have played in Winterhold? Or Windhelm? Ooh, that's interesting. Additionally, critics, along with some of his supporters, contended that Ulfric used the widely unpopular ban on Talos as a rallying cry merely to gain support for his bid to become High King. That's fascinating. I didn't know that. That's an interesting, like, outlook. That feels so real. Some people consider Ulfric to be indifferent or even prejudiced towards Windhelm's Dumber or Argonians in contrast to Hoag, who in general was more tolerant of them. That's also interesting. You found it from the music page for the Skyrim wiki? There's a Skyrim wiki? Why is there a Skyrim wiki? It's probably a fandom wiki. I think it's pretty interesting to say that Ulfric's like father was more tolerant and liberal than he was. I think it's interesting. The one you're looking at now, the UESP. Oh, you okay? Music page. Okay. Oh, I see. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, that is interesting. I wonder why. I wonder if they were intending to give Whiterun to the Stormcloaks, like originally, before making it like a neutral town. I wonder if like it was supposed to be a Stormcloak town or something before they decided to just make it like in the middle. But I don't know. It's interesting. I don't generally like look into file names and stuff, but it's interesting. Well, man, I was chatting for a while. Okay, so because I said I'm not going to be doing Overwatch. Also, next weekend's going to be a little bit weird because Friday's going to have a stream. Saturday is not going to have a stream. I might stream like early Sunday morning, right? So I might stream like really early Sunday morning because I'm going to go see a movie at like 10 on Saturday and I can't see myself being back before midnight, so I'm probably going to be back like 1 a.m. And so I might do a little stream like in the morning because I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about the UESP stream or anything, or it's gonna be Saturday night, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I could probably manage a little stream. So either I'll stream in the very early AM of Sunday, 1 a.m. Central Time, 2 a.m. Central Time. It probably won't be for very long, and then Sunday is probably going to be just standard, 7 p.m. Central. After that, I'm pretty sure we don't have to worry about any altered schedules, and it's probably going to be smooth sailing. So, give me a moment to get the raid ready. I actually just realized I think I have to write the UESP trivia. So I'm probably gonna have to take some time to do that. Also, do you like the music at the back? I changed it to the Morrowind theme. You can do that. I don't know if you guys know. You can go to your settings and go to your audio, and you can change your intro music, right? And I guess it's also changing, like, it's playing other Morrowind music as well. Like, it's playing a completely different track right now, but it is a Morrowind track, so you can choose what you want as your background theme. And I've got an attachment to Morrowind. It was my introduction to ESO, and I love the soundtrack. It's like imbued in my soul. So it's nice. It's nice to be able to choose that. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for being here. It is appreciated. I will see you next time. Probably, maybe on Tuesday. Like, I might do a stream on Tuesday. The usual Overwatch, and then maybe some ESO to close it off. I will be sending you guys to Doryu. Thank you for being here. It is appreciated. Give me a moment to get that raid ready. I know it's kind of a short stream, but you know, we're not doing Overwatch tonight, so. Okay. All right. Bye.